Yeah, I was paid back.
Pig Badger. And the hag had this cauldron where she was making cool stew. And Rod walked over to the cauldron, he kicked it over.
I was
As a
not
badger? As
the
a
one
badger.
who kicked it over.
Okay.
I wasn't one of the people.
He
Was-
wasn't.
was-
And looked the
Did
hag.
Baruch knock it over?
Yeah, it wasn't her. Yeah, it was.
That's very Baruch-y.
But what Baruch like,
That is
it
pretty-
went across the room.
Yeah.
Baruchish.
And then I like waddled over to it as a cave doctor.
That was-
I didn't pee on the pot. I peed in the soup that it's still on while
Yeah.
staring at the house.
And then the hag brought up another frost giant.
It was not nearly as bad.
No, it wasn't like the first frost giant where we almost died was bad. The willow of the wisps were smartly dispatched.
Smartly dispatched, yes.
And
That is the right way to put that, absolutely.
I did not
the-
dispatch them smartly. I tried to burn them with fire, which is not intelligent,
no,
but I did it.
and then Baruch did get in a staring contest with one of the frost giant skeleton.
Yep.
And the frost giant skeleton did have a very badass kind of stare weapon, icy gaze,
I did for like the first 2 years, you know.
and Baruch managed to not get ice gauge each
He
time.
absolutely rolled his saves like a boss.
It was a little maybe disappointing to the number of hit points because Baruch, I believe, was
Yeah.
well,
He
yeah,
was, he went down and
he went
back
down.
up.
I was healer, so it was heal, and Will-O-Wisp also had a bad. They're bad if you're at
There
zero.
was
hit
some,
points. They really are really
some
bad.
things, some
So,
updates I made that I'm not-
I was just trying to heal
Yeah, I'll
people so
send
they
some
weren't
stuff
at zero,
about
which included our favorite Baruch, some other folks, and so there were just a lot of heal spells going on. We managed to make it.
I don't remember now.
We
Oh,
did
Oh,
take
might have been a
long
minor.
rest.
You're so cool,
I do
Owen.
like it, but it was cool.
Uh,
there.
I do notice Dark Red everything.
Probably stop
Uh,
that.
Party
It
members.
was great,
decided
because when I worked at UT.
Oh, yeah. Now,
That worked.
Broad and Hoot are the
So we could just go home to
here.
Capitol. The Capitol has a little circuit. For flipping stuff.
Oh, there was an encounter with the
The first player to
dire.
hit level 40 was an awesome.
That's super cool.
Had a circuit.
But not,
Go
not
ahead and-
your
Go ahead and guess how the encounter with the dire wolf.
turned into a wolf
Friend.
and you tried to organize him in a revolt against
You
sentient
should
beings.
get out from under the people.
No, but I did share 10 pounds of where I
I don't
but
prefer it.
Nice.
tried to pick up the development taste for it. And yeah, he's not bad.
Nice.
But luckily, she was on watch, was approached, could talk to him,
She knows what I like.
figured out the wolf, the dire wolf gave us some lore dumps. And apparently that hag had been terrorizing that area for a while. We're pretty sure we saw fishermen remainers. Okay. There's no fishermen. They are glad that the hag and the frost giant skeletons are dead. There was a little like.
Something springs.
Find my normal one.
Nice.
Which is honest with this in the end, but it's not my backpack.
Did you already put it away?
Well, if I did, I don't know where.
Okay.
There's a possibility, but if I did, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I need to join.
Oh, it might have been put over here.
Holy shit, Robert, that's amazing.
They didn't split it.
I was like,
Oh, did you find it?
It is.
You tearing it?
I didn't need to, I thought it was something about, but they
One big piece.
can't go, it's covered up by a different game.
That's
Uh,
He knew that the game was.
The
Yeah,
dire wolf
I-
has been sharing
I
the
just picked
knowledge
those
of
up.
the teens
So,
with
thank
his
you, Alex.
cat.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the delicious food. Believes there's one more skeleton in the ice, but without the hag, it is a threat. His nose name is Darkness. And the rest of the night passes
In
without
strange new
incident.
worlds. Huh?
Have you finished Strange New Worlds?
I have not.
Have you watched it at all?
I've watched the last episode. We saw
Yeah, we woke up
was,
and were ready to go back, but we were pretty low.
Everybody needs a rest.
Fantasy Person. Yeah, that's that one.
Hold on.
And that one just.
Sorry about that.
What?
We had some that goes.
Before you watch the finale. Oh, wait, the finale?
Yes,
What? How many days did we get?
6 or 8. How many was it?
God damn it! You're like 48, 10. Is it 10? Okay. We're like 48
This is
episodes. Okay.
If we don't do
Yeah.
something.
I'm not in it. Susan.
Got it. It was me.
Okay.
It was me. It's all my fault.
We get like 128 episodes of Discovery, which is over 4 seasons.
But anyway,
You know?
before you watch the finale,
Uh-huh.
watch Balance of Terror of the old series.
Yes.
Which you can watch on.
Like literally,
Like
Oh,
Balance of Terror,
Yeah.
Balance of Terror.
it's the Romulan submarine one where they first see the Romulans.
Okay.
And he's using submarine in a metaphorical sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But like literally back
They
to
use
back.
Term metaphor.
Okay.
Are you
I can,
concept of
I,
maps?
I do believe that could be right.
Fine. Highly
Hey,
recommend it. We stayed up way too late in Arkansas. Watching back to back, we were like, that's one of the best decisions we made.
Okay, very good.
Have you seen the finale? Have you watched Balance of Terror? Okay.
Strong
I'm
agree with your.
guessing there's gonna be like some Romulans or some shit.
There's some shit and there's some references, so it will be good. I mean, you will go, oh, yeah, I remember that, but if you've watched it recently, it just everything will fire also.
And there's a lot of small details that they include, which are nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I really.
Yeah, I know,
Strange New Worlds, nod to the old series.
I thoroughly enjoyed some shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not the anti-discovery for sure, but I haven't finished it, so if it tells you anything, but Stranger Worlds just knocked it out. That makes sense.
I am not pretty helpful for that, but you mean anti-discovery. I am just tired of Michael Byrne.
Yeah.
Like, there is a whole crew, there's a whole ensemble of characters, and that is what Strange New Worlds gets right.
They get it closer.
No,
So,
that's
speaking of Discovery, I rewatched an episode of Voyager.
Quick pause. They get an 8 or 9 out of 10. Or 2. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I agree.
So, episode of Voyager where it takes place in the future, where they take the Doctor from a memory module, and he gets to defend Voyager's innocence and
Yeah.
to some species. But at the end of the episode, they reveal that he, this is what 400 years, 500 years in the future,
Yeah.
which is about the same time Discovery's taking
Yeah,
place.
it's like, so we have Robert Picardo show up.
Right. I'm just thinking, he goes off and trying to make it back to the Alpha Quadrant. So can he show up? Like, I want to see him show up in Discovery because I think that would be really cool.
It's
fun actor.
hard when you have actors that are not supposed to be.
Well, that's true. But like, if he,
he's a hologram, he can look how he wants.
he's a hologram who's decided to like get on the human experience, and over time, and with the more advanced technology of the future he's in, he could have aged himself as needed.
And you started out bald, does that help?
Right, that does help. And I don't know, I just realized that those timelines kind of match up. So that would be kind of cool to see. Since that's the only Star Trek we have in the future.
Yeah.
But I've been rewatching Voyager and charting its path on a map of like Star Trek quadrants.
Yeah.
Just kind of see where it's going. It's kind of interesting, but now I'm like thinking, well, I want to have the same map, but like updated for like Discovery era. I want to see where everyone is located now.
Completely unrelated. But I meant to bring this up earlier because Allie said a word and it brought it to my mind.
How dare you say the words?
I now forgot what word it was, but here we go. Ellie, have you read all the Jane Austen books?
I have read Prime Prejudice and Northanger Abbey, and I think that's about it.
Well, I have read Taffy, Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, like I don't even know how many times. I found this new series of books, and it's a modern retelling of all the Jane Austen books written by an Indian American woman and it's like complete representation with no tokenism, and it's so good. The first one is it's the Rajes series. The first one is Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors. It's real good. And the way they play with the gender roles and everything, like in that one, Mark Darcy is the female lead.
Oh, nice. I've seen there's like a new Prime Prejudice having like Fire Island or something like that.
Ooh.
That's a gay couple. It's the
Oh.
and I think they mentioned Pride and Prejudice, like Pride and Prejudice exists in this universe, which is always kind of fun.
And they do it real well, where it's all the books are based on the same Indian American family or Indian. I'm very culturally not smart sometimes. Because the children are born here, so I consider them to be Indian American, but the parents are from India.
It's Indian American.
But like each sibling / cousin is a different version of a Jane Austen book, and the Persuasion one, since I've never read Persuasion, I've only seen the movie once. I was just like, what's happening?
There's new Persuasion May series coming out, isn't there? Yeah. I've read all.
Y'all, I
I think we really enjoyed it.
had a proud, oh shit, she will be my stepdaughter. I had a proud parent moment. Raylan came wandering in. Player's handbook in hand. She goes, "Are roads shit?" I said, "Oh, no, just gotta." I said, "Allow me to show you a good one." Beyond, actually, you guys can't tell. Oh, sure. I said, "You want to know one of the favorite things that we do in that game?" She goes, "What's that?" I said, "You know, I've told you about Jethro." I said, "He likes to twin spell greater invisibility." And then she becomes the sexy Sheila style. She goes, "Wait, how did what?" I said, "Greater invisibility, you attack, you don't lose this. That means she always has advantage, which means she always has backside." You're like, she goes, "That's kind of gross." I said, "I can make it worse."
If she flanks somebody.
I said, "Now you need to go to Solar Coast, choose variant tiefling, feral tiefling with wings. Now you have a 30-foot fly speed." She goes, she goes, "Well, it's a friend of ours. He wants to be in, lots to tell stories, but he loves to troll the shit out of people." And I said, "With this character, you troll him. You just troll him all day. It's gonna be great." So I don't know if she's gonna do the swashbuckler or the arcane trickster or the assassin.
So speaking of optimizing your characters,
No, I don't know anything about it.
Nerd Night Austin, if you're familiar with that thing, they host a meeting every month, and they just have volunteers in the community talk about nerd shit. The upcoming one, there's someone talking about optimizing your D&D character, which might be interesting. Past things that I've seen them talk about, the physics of two-wheeled motion. There was one night all about body modification, and they had a bunch of different people, show off some new stuff and talk about that. There was an exchange student from some country near Sweden, northeast, that sort of area, who made vinegar. And so he talked to everybody about how he makes vinegar and brews it, which was really interesting, because I knew nothing about any of that. So
It's wine, and then you let it stay.
yeah, apparently. So there's a lot of cool stuff. But the next topic has a guy talking about optimizing your D&D character, which I don't know if there'll be anything new for us, Well, it might be interesting to hear someone else's perspective.
I want Jay to join that chat. He'd be like, no, no.
There's a question and answer section, and that would be very, very entertaining. Especially, you know, if I know Jay's in there, because I'm like, oh, this will be funny, because I know Jay, no one else will, well, maybe no one else will, but.
There is a really bad echo somewhere.
D&D character, he's exceptionally kind, considerate. I doubt he would bust up somebody's presentation.
Joe, are you muted? Right, Joe's muted.
I'm hoping someone-
I'm muted.
Very handsome.
That one's unmuted, so we should be good on sound.
Fly speed, don't.
Can you hear me now?
It's a backstab two people around.
Echo,
I can hear it. It's just everything is coming through double.
You were not muted.
that's weird.
Huh? Yeah, I am.
His
Your audio is down.
camera 1 is muted.
So notice there are two Joes.
You bet.
There's Joe the Doombringer, who is muted. And then there's Joe, which is the Mac, which is one that's recording, which needs to.
How's
Yes,
that?
you can mute the sound. No, I don't think I can mute the sound. in the house.
But if you mute the sound,
Yeah,
that will
I-
Owen
yeah,
here.
no, I got it, I see what I need to do.
Like, wait.
Oh, one thing from last game that is important, now are in possession of a humongous magic item.
Oh, the pot?
It's dragging on this pot. I don't know. if
Dragon.
it's dragging on it.
I do not,
Ah,
but I have to get out that part.
All right, are we double now?
Dragon on the spot.
Hello, double
How's it?
talk.
how's the sound now?
It's
I don't
the
know.
same.
We should
You
do
can't,
that.
you can't hear it.
Can you hear me?
Well, wait, yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
I can hear it.
It's just,
Oh, but we can't hear him
hmm,
out of here, unless you want that one to have speaker.
I mean, we could do that, probably.
Yeah.
I guess,
Is your microphone on over here?
specifically, so this microphone would be on.
Okay, so then if you mute your speakers
Mm-hmm,
over here
mm-hmm.
and your microphone, that should do it.
Wait, if I mute
Well,
my
no.
speakers down there? No,
No, it shouldn't have anything to do with it.
well,
Okay, so let's look at the participant list and see who's got an open mic. Participants. Owen's got an open mic, this host has. an
anyway,
open mic.
Laura, the reason I was asking
That's
for
weird.
the width of the table
Mhm.
is I'm going to purchase we'll call it an apparatus.
Mhm.
It is it's a series of tubes, so it's like the internet. But it's not like the internet in that it makes a frame, like a trestle frame that goes across a table with camera mounts and microphone mounts on it. So when the map is on there, we have one camera flowing over it and looking down on it, so we can have an overhead.
Well, let's take an actual measurement if you're going to be doing.
Well, I
something
mean,
like
if
that.
it, I just know to get 48 or under, right? That is 44. Awesome. Okay, so,
That's why you'd never trust.
mhm.
Well, I
Sorry,
mean.
it's great.
he's doing breakfast.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
hold on.
Oh, and you may need to like restart your Zoom client. Maybe,
All right.
Wait,
because there's
he's
only
making
two
sound now.
microphones. There's only two microphones.
He's
on.
making sound now.
Yeah, he's making sound.
Do you
Yeah.
want me to make
that.
this thing a speaker?
Oh, yeah, we can make that a speaker.
Yeah, but I think there's also maybe some microphone stuff attached to it
If
too.
it does the microphone, you want it to be the microphone and the speaker.
Microphone and a speaker?
Yes, because otherwise you'll have,
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
You
yeah.
have an independent
mhm,
microphone
Sure.
speaker.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
and Zoom won't do its thing correctly.
I mean, Zoom may or may not do its thing correctly anyway.
I have heard.
So what I'm really going to do is get OBS running on here
Oh, yeah.
so that so they could do
Yeah.
multiple video streams and all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
Because I know not all of you are interested in it, but I would love to make a living playing D&D. And if we can make 1/10 of what the fuckers at Critical Role made, we all make over 100K a year playing fucking D&D.
I can help you with that.
Right.
I have experience with OBS and multi-camera.
See, there you go. That's what's up.
So I do believe.
I have a friend of mine who's hooking me up with some. He's like, all right, let me tell you what you do with cameras. He goes, you can do these and they're amazing, And they're good. They're also super, super
Oh.
expensive. Or you can get a gaggle of Logitechs
That's what I do.
and they're decent enough to start with.
Well, and you can also do stuff, so like.
Okay,
This room that I-
breaker 19, breaker 19.
I'm in it right now. I never
Oh my
heard.
gosh,
that.
I don't have an audio device, so I know it's.
Um,
Well, okay, I do have an
Oh
audio
my gosh,
device, but
Go back.
it's.
What are you doing, man?
Why aren't the multi-touch things working? Okay.
They do work, they just don't work like Mac shit. They work like Windows, as God intended.
I do not feel as if I have any.
The
audio
microphone
device
is set
because it is
correctly.
blank.
Is it?
I don't, yes,
What is it set for?
the Jabra,
Okay, what is the
It's
speaker set for?
Jabra.
The Jabra.
So now what we need to do is press the volume button on there and make the volume go up.
Set the
Make
on,
sure that
set
it's
the
switched.
back up.
Okay,
I
cool.
already covered
So now we just gotta wait
it.
for Owen. Owen just came. in.
Hey, there we go.
Hey. Wait a minute.
Tradition.
The stream that I produce is, I stream it from my home, but then I get webcams from 4 people across the country saying
See?
the same thing.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
So it is doable, it is not hard, and
That's what she said.
we can make it look, yeah, we can make it look good.
See?
I'm solid.
Now we
That
got
was.
the whiteboard over there. I found it was only encouraging.
Yeah.
Strong.
Also,
She said that too.
because UT just auctions shit off all the time.
Yeah, we do.
I'm keeping an eye out for cameras and audio equipment. There was a whole, like, there were a bunch of Crown amps.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah, I know.
that would be nice.
I know. They rapidly went up in price.
I'm sure.
Imagine that.
The problem is I can't afford the stuff
Mhm.
for the bargain price that I want to pay for it.
I would imagine. Just throwing this out there, I would imagine that when
Like, oh my god.
Mr. McConaughey became a like
What is it?
permanent
It's like a
staff.
tea, but with hibiscus.
Yeah, my fucking Jedi mind powers and I work at the giant
Uh,
bell.
that
That's
sounds
right
lovely.
where my face is.
It's in Spanish. Oh my god.
On the side.
This is lovely.
Well, I don't really have a good leverage or slightest.
Yeah, tipping.
That RTF got some Hell grants. So they will be getting new equipment soon, and RTF is gonna be probably your best.
Do we have a long rest?
Sligo,
We had-
Sligo,
we took one, but-
Sligo auctions.com
Mhm.
is where UT liquidates all their shit. I know because I have a lot of UT cabinets or, vertical files in my garage where I store all my stuff. All right. Well. Chat. Which chat?
When-
Funny, there's so many. chats.
When my house is up and running, we should do this on a Saturday, and I'll host down there, and everyone can take a lovely day trip. And I'll feed you barbecue. Lockhart.
That'd be lovely, yeah.
Absolutely. be lovely. I would do that.
That's right. I can put the food there.
Also,
Will be.
Will be. I forgot that you will be moving there.
I'm sending you. Something that we can make it easy and then the stuff I can't do, I won't do.
Right now, it's essentially just trying to pull myself and my mother, mostly my mother, like I can manage myself fine, trying to manage my mother is the challenge.
So we started.
Parents don't listen very well to the younglings.
Well, I'm about to be your primary caretaker, sure,
No.
like, it
Oh,
drives
man.
me crazy. She's like, okay, Lisa, you figure out the mortgage, you figure out the home insurance. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to set up
So,
this one thing. And then
we,
she's like, I don't
we
want to. I'm
wrapped
like,
up
but mom, like,
the
this
night of
one
the
thing.
28th, and you guys were taking a long rest. And brought y'all up at this super, super cool Steve Jacob dude.
Mhm,
And,
mhm. Mhm.
And, you will. Let's see, what is gonna happen? Before the rest of the evening, where is that child? Hey Hercule, how you been doing?
Oh,
Thank you, yes.
yes.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing all right. Just a lot of lifeguarding, and it's really hot.
Yeah. Do you happen to work with, oh, I forgot what Katie's daughter's name is. Lily. Do you happen to work with anyone named Lily?
Probably.
Maybe I don't know everybody's names because I'm working at like different pools all the time, and everyone gets shuffled around everywhere. So I have a lot of people that I work with.
Lily's lifeguarding because it was in such hot demand
Yeah.
this season.
Lily's lifeguarding lovingly. Lily's lifeguarding due to limited demand.
All right, Joe.
What's the liability on?
Are we in a place where we can get started on tonight's episode?
Oh.
You grabbing it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We went to a museum and we saw this painting and it immediately thought of all of you.
So that's too far away from you.
So-
You see,
Yeah, she's like, oh, look, here's the thing.
Ally,
It's
show
in
me
a
the
wrapper,
box
it's got glare on it.
So they can get it.
Oh, that is great.
Mhm.
I've seen this before.
This is at the Crystal Bridges Museum.
In Arkansas.
It's
I mean,
really cool.
Yeah.
That is really, really cool. Shanna has decreed that when we make our yearly sojourns, that one thing that we will do instead of like buying touristy stuff or, which we're doing, but we will, of course, take the time to find and purchase
That makes sense.
a piece of original art by a local artist.
I get those. I was just
That's
looking at you.
when we went to New Mexico, we went to Old Town in Albuquerque, and we got a whole bunch of like local artisty stuff, and I love it. I also did that when I went to Florida, but I did it solely. My mom really loved like metal sculptures and metal art stuff.
Beyonce.
Hmm? Yeah.
You know what I mean? We talk about Beyonce.
I've seen the T-shirt where it's like the metal, the upside down like hymn symbol, but it's Beyonce in it.
There's a writer called the Blonde.
Mm.
She's awesome. She's like us. She's fucked up. And her husband, or she found one of those giant chicken sculptures,
Mhm.
and it became named Beyonce.
Oh.
And the famous picture is of the giant chicken sculpture. She was letting her husband know that she had bought it by putting the chicken sculpture by their front door, ringing the doorbell, and running off. And the caption on the picture just said, "Knock, knock, motherfucker." And so every time we see a metal chicken, it's a race to say Beyonce.
Ah.
I know we're really wrong.
I have no idea why, but she follows me.
She's awesome.
Nice. She's a great
She
singer.
is awesome. The only one that I like more is Ali Brosh, who did Hyperbole and a Half.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing she's ever done is dogs don't understand simple concepts like moving. I almost died because it was just.
Um,
Are we within 5 minutes of playing D&D?
We are. We're actually less than 5 minutes to play music.
Let's go.
sorry,
We're
Jay.
going to okay. So here we go.
Thanks for putting it together.
Tradition.
Big deal.
Okay, guys. So previously in the Lamplighters had a successful victory over a Well, what appeared to be a swamp witch or a hag or someone that was liked cooking. And by cooking, I mean she liked cutting up sentient beings and eating their flesh in a big old cauldron of fun,
Well, that just sounds horrible. I don't know who would do that.
right? She's messed up. So anyway,
Why?
right. After you dispatched said hag witch and found her cauldron, which had been kicked over, thrown, the contents spilled, and then peed on, I think in that order. Pee?
Yeah.
She had summoned her second, much less capable, much less capable, frost giant skeleton. Got into a staring contest with Baruch, and Baruch should now be known as the Steely Eye, for he did not mess that up, even didn't fail a single. It was glorious. Some investigation of the cauldron revealed the cauldron is empty. A wondrous magic item capable of producing, just by adding water, a hearty, thick stew. And a little bit of mass says it could feed about 400 people a day. Now, in a place where food scarcity is an issue, this could be pretty, pretty valuable. Okay? It could also be very disruptive. As the night dragged on, or as the evening fell, he went to sleep. And during Rajaga's watch, he was approached by a direwolf who had been living in these caves. Gave a bit of a history lesson on what was going on. The frost giants, they're unfortunately very fatal attraction to water, and the hag and her castles and general bad behavior. Did he give you anything else, Rod? Did he? No? But as I recall, Rajaga offered this direwolf some fresh and tasty Jurgar flesh, of which they both consumed most happily. And then he offered some to eat. And she thought it was quite delicious too, pushing you closer and closer to truly evil.
I think it was Croesus, actually.
Was it Croesus?
Yeah.
It was Croesus.
Croesus?
Oh yeah,
Hey.
Croesus the cannibal.
Croesus
Mhm.
charred it with fire first. He cooked it, and then he took a bite,
Uh-huh.
not
Not to
really
be
caring
rude.
where it was.
Sure. Okay.
And we didn't really get past that
I'm
before
pretty sure
the
that-
players all made a.
I'm pretty sure on the
ruckus.
questionnaire to get into heaven, it doesn't say, did you eat a little sentient flesh or did you eat a lot? It's just that, did you eat the flesh? Or did you
There's
eat
a knowing and not knowing thing, he wasn't paying attention. A supposed
Ignorance
friend
of
gave
the
it to
law
him.
is no excuse. All right, just kidding.
What you're doing.
That was pretty glorious.
Yeah.
So after Frog's Watch, during the early morning hours, just before, well, what would be a sunrise if there were one? Not good. We'll say during the
We'll say during the time between Poldark and God's
And what?
It's one of the,
God's Way.
it's the,
Oh, I thought you said God's like, which,
No, it's a different thing.
I think it's what I thought you said. I just didn't get that.
The time of the deepest sleep
4 a.m.
and the most active minds, Sistin.
Yeah.
You feel once again enveloped by the welcoming embrace of regard. The fabric that you know is the weave of reality, the skein of fate, and the tapestry of time stretching around you. And inside this tapestry, you see an embroidered cauldron with little strings stretching out, bits of thread reaching out across space to different. Give me a wisdom check. With
A 13.
13.
All right.
It was a wisdom saving throw.
So you,
If it was a wisdom saving throw, it would be
18. Well, but wisdom save.
Okay.
Sorry. Wisdom save. So with an 18, you recognize that the embroidered cauldron sits in the middle of a series of dots that are laid out very much like the 10 you see a tapestry of Icewind Dale with the cauldron at the center. And you see it connected to the 10 towns by little threads, and some threads are bigger, some are smaller. So you take that in, and then you see the blade of a knife slash through the tapestry and carve all the way around the cauldron, separating it from the tapestry and it from the 10 towns. And the rest of the tapestry falls in darkness. And it just sits there, slashed out of the tapestry as the threads around it begin to unravel. And you drop back in.
So I feel like Cauldron was causing that, or something else was going to act. Something else was acting. It wasn't like the threads were being, like the cauldron was taking them away. It was like,
in wisdom say,
wow, that's enough.
You think the symbolism could be taken a couple of ways, but you feel like with a connection, with the cauldron having a connection to all of the 10 pounds, the tapestry was whole. And with no connection to the 10 pounds, the tapestry was slashed and broken. Sandalphon.
Yes.
Nothing happens. You
Nice.
okay,
Finally, some good solid sleep.
right? What's that? By the way,
Sandalphon, your figure absolutely failed, not reprinted. This one kind of failed. I'm gonna have to reprint all these, but they're little things. And I just want to say the rock out Sistin
Oh, yeah.
is my absolute favorite.
I did,
meme.
I was choosing a stance.
Oh, yeah, that is, I
Oh,
saw that, and I
that's
was like,
amazing.
oh, that's good. Oh, that's very.
Let's see, and I'll show it to Owen too.
Yeah, Owen,
I think that's good.
No, it's not perfect.
Oh, hold on.
For it. OCD, it's.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, so, that one, they're just, there's some reprints.
Well, thank you for making it.
oh, thank you.
Just for your.
I
Pretty
kinda like
good.
popped them together, and I was kind of like, all right, let's see what happens.
We might need 3D printing lessons.
Oh, we're definitely.
This might be,
Yeah, guys, pretty.
Those are
So,
looking
I'm
sleek.
it does look sleek, doesn't it?
It
So,
does.
actually,
You could choose different poses and like that clearly was the one.
Well, I don't know, cause I've got, I mean, no, that was awesome. I'm not arguing against it. There is another really great pose for a musician. And I know because believe it or not, I'm playing a body.
I believe it.
I still think they're pretty whack, but
Whack as in good, bad.
so
Ugly.
Sistin, as you drift back into the deep sleep, non-dreaming, the rest of you finish your long rest. The morning of the 29th begins.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was it? That's awesome.
Tells us this way.
oh, sorry, Robert.
That's,
So,
oh, sure, yeah. Head down, strumming.
like I said, you make it through the night, you complete your long rest, you wake up feeling good.
Feeling like we just slept.
Hmm?
We wake up feeling like we just slept. How about that?
That is accurate. So
That is one of the best ways to wake up.
it is. You make your way. You all kind of wake up around between 7 and 8 a.m. You have some decisions to make. You also have I'm going to describe it as a big ass cauldron to figure out how to transport or leave or destroy.
I got a bag.
It's too big to
It's too
beg.
big for the bag.
It's too big.
We established that it was too big for the bag.
It's
No.
like 4 feet across. Yeah, it's pretty big.
So you can add an angle.
Huh? Yeah. You can add an angle.
You turn it to the
I
side.
got pivot, turn it.
So, Baruch could obviously carry it very easily. Croesus, but no.
Sandalphon.
Brajaga, Sandalphon, you have plenty of resources.
We have a
with which
sled.
to, move this thing around, but Lamplighters, the day is yours.
I mean, you are talking about wild shit, Brajaga. Brajaga is not particularly strong. I mean, it's
Well, he is. I think of him as very strong, like.
Carry it with your will,
Right.
not your arms.
I think cats probably make an improvised sled that we can pull.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very
How many,
likely.
how much stuff is in here? How long do we have to give young Tax? Because Tax would already be contemplating.
contemplating mine. What are you looking for?
Well, we got here by just walking, right? Tax would probably be contemplating very specifically a way to tie it to her Steel Defender and have the Steel Defender drag it. She rides her Steel Defender like a little pony.
Well, the group can easily carry it.
See, the problem is less transport and more.
Where are we gonna keep it?
Well, we can store it in our keep. We're not too far from our keep, are we?
I think we're closer to our.
Maybe. I'm just
Our
trying to remember
bar?
where we are.
We have a bar?
Yeah, we have an inn.
Oh, the inn,
have the
that
inn.
I was.
But
The other problem is keeping it under wraps.
Well, bringing it to the inn is a bad way to keep it under wraps compared to bringing it to the keep where no one exists.
Especially since we have to go back to the ancient magic where we arrived and they were burning wizards, yeah.
I just want to say that I do believe my goddess gave me a vision about this, that it needs to be part of the 10 towns, that it needs to be central to 10 towns, and that we may want to find a way to feed the people with it. Right now, I know some people go to extreme measures to make sure everyone is fed, and this would be a way that we could do it. What if there was a soup kitchen or some kind of place where you could go to get food? And we at first supplied it so that people would get the idea that we were bringing in food. They would arrive there.
And then we jack.
No, no.
It's not quite
Have
like
a
that. It's more like the time when you found homes for the puppies.
See,
It sounded like you were just saying first it's three.
No,
take it-
I think, but we need to be able to perhaps take it around places so it's not suspicious that food is coming out of nowhere, because it could put people in danger. For some people, the man might use it for nefarious purposes, and it really is free.
we can take it to one of these places for safekeeping until we decide how to utilize it. We don't have to take it someplace where it's going to live permanently necessarily, just someplace safe, so we can go about our business until we have established the best course of action.
And we've also,
Every night that it's not feeding people or night, people starve.
Also, if you don't want to decide what to do with it right now, I would vote we leave it here, rather than take it to a second location where we're just going to leave it. Because, at the very least, this location has a dire wolf that likes, and I could be like, hey, everything's still a cauldron, shadow, please, or darkness.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I mean,
Actually, I agree. I think the logic is leaving it here, but since we know where it is, I imagine most natives avoid this area because they know what they've been dealing with. And the Dwerg our keep, there might be more Dwerg back and see where the friends are, and they might look to find it. So we're actually staff that place. I wouldn't do anything particularly valuable.
well, maybe we just bring back some rations, we create something and you just, give my other characters like,
Do we have a premise?
yeah, do
It's frozen outside. All you have to do is put it in a bag and let it sit outside for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we just, we have frozen soup.
Yeah.
We just have frozen.
I like warm soup, not frozen
can-
soup.
we
soup.
thought.
Well, they can heat it, yeah.
Can we take it to the Northern Lights and see if they can?
How far are we
Soup
from
is
the Northern Line? I'm very geographically challenged, especially when I go to sleep in one place and wake up somewhere else.
Rod, we could take it to your father and give him the charge for running the soup kitchen, and then if something happens to him, we would be so sad.
I mean, I wouldn't be so sad, but my sister has gone off to Parks Unknown. And if my father died, my mom would have been very glad.
Yeah.
And I do not want to do that for her.
Terribly think we should do a sufficient. Maybe, yeah, make some rations, freeze it, put it in the little plastic bag, or put the dents in it, so you can just pop it up and heat it in perfect serving size. Or you can turn it into my sister.
I think we take it to the,
Yeah.
we fix up and stop the, and we charge reasonable prices for the soup. If we give it away for free, that gets suspicious. If we're charging for soup,
Well,
you know?
we give it away.
If somebody asks, why do you have so much stew? I'm a good hunter.
We point them at, Baruch's head and say, that was a really big.
I think that we do have a reputation in the town of getting that giant moose and hunting well. I think that's a good, we have a reputation for doing it. We just need to make enough regular visits to it that people feel like we're bringing in enough food to store it. And somebody who would operate Holden who wouldn't cause problems. Do we think that we could find that person?
I think, her name's not Ellie anymore. Ellie.
The Lamplighters.
Definitely not.
And you've left vessels to create beer before. Or
What? I mean, technically, if you wanted to talk about it, what I did is I emptied out the vessel of beer into another vessel, and then, but maybe one day I'll be able to do it again. But I really do like Holler. They're very, very good, and I cast spells with them sometimes, and they are very useful. And if I was going to improve them, this is how I would do.
And I think we should say that it's not for free, but anyone who can't needs food is welcome to get. You can pay, but if you really you're desperate, we don't want you to go hungry. Well,
So I
Rob is,
like the idea of giving it food.
so
But.
what
if
if
we're
it
going
was
to
to
do it,
wolves?
How about?
What if they
Yeah.
haggle food?
Exactly.
Stop.
Just imagine some of the humans around here as lesser wolves.
So,
What if we had them haggle for it? What if we had it set at a price and then you could haggle it down? Because you are a fan of a haggle.
how's this? I'm also a fan of not staying in the place for very long. And if we were going to leave it at the end, for the soup kitchen there, we would, have to find somebody we could trust. But I'm not quite sure we would trust each other yet.
I trust you.
I trust you to man a cauldron.
As long as you don't, it's not food based, although I do eat that good berry you give me every day. I don't know.
Should I not trust someone? Is one of us untrustworthy? And I directly look at
There's too many
Crossy.
of them.
I am very trustworthy. Why would you think I'm not trustworthy?
No, I think everyone is trustworthy, but as of everyone, you are the one I've worked with the least. Though I do believe because you've worked with Rod that you are good, and I do trust you.
I mean,
Ah,
How about this? You trust me, he's the one I trust the most. So,
And Farouk, he's very large and he has not smashed me,
anyway,
and that's reassuring.
Sistin has a good point, that if we leave it at the end, not only do we have to get someone to trust, we have to keep going back to the end to keep up appearances. But if we just do a traveling soup kitchen, we show up wherever we go, we just open a little food stand for a day or two or however long we're there. They don't know what provisions we did or did not for us.
I could make a caravan. I've seen the caravan, and we burned so many caravans when we killed the one person. You could totally make a caravan. I'd love to build a caravan.
So yeah,
I mean,
we just,
also-
we built like a permanent sled to move the cauldron around. And we
I
get
mean-
some boxes and sacks that look like ingredients,
when you and
we
Iggy
just
are,
like write lettuce on them or what the fuck ever.
I bet you could make adaptive harnesses so that if when Iggy and you aren't in pack wolves or whatever mode, Varuk and I could take turns pulling it, or not pushing it.
Or we could actually just get horse.
I love
We
this
could
idea. We could get, it
Anybody
would be
have
where
time
it would
to
need
eat
motion,
stuff?
it wouldn't be tied down to one town.
Yeah.
That way people who can travel could get some food.
Anybody have second level paladin spells?
and it would be very easy to walk in, feed people, and then leave. And then by the time we come back, people will just assume we've restocked ourselves. Because we have, it will be wonderful.
Tax is now, you can tell, she is in like the white woman math meme face, because now she's building a caravan in her head to make it easy for a horse, perhaps her steel defender. So it's not just a normal caravan, it is malleable to whoever we're with.
How strong is this? Sort of-
Let me see.
What's it
Strong-
called?
Stronger than Dax.
Stronger than broad, although not stronger than broad, of course, but
14.
Strength is my dump stat.
Girls is my stuff, could you tell?
So strength of 14 could
I mean, well. Probably. I mean, yeah, we can get it done. If we have to buy a horse, to steal a horse. Or
we could definitely buy a horse.
liberate a horse.
Liberate. I like liberating. Yes, and then what I can do is I can do it similar to the other one that we had where it has wheels, or we could
You're gonna put
take
a
the
horse
wheels
on
off
wheels?
and
You're gonna put a horse on wheels?
no, the caravan. We could have it have skis as well, and the large kind like our feet, so it doesn't go in the snow and it slides more than rolls.
A big sled,
So it can be adjustable,
adaptable.
adaptable.
All right. All right, so I
Traveling
think
soup kitchen.
traveling soup kitchen works well. Whenever we roll in.
We just have to, you
sell
know,
soup.
anybody still have create bonfire?
Yes.
I mean, I could create a bonfire.
Anybody
I would
have
Magic for that.
Prestidigitation. Because you could act like you're putting in carrots and stew meat and other things into it. So the question is, if we make the stew in front of people,
We don't have to make the soup.
I'll put curtains and a thing.
or we can make it,
It's a
yeah.
covered wagon. So we can walk out the wind if we have to go.
We could then
inside.
food
We
truck.
wouldn't want to make it in front of people because I would be making it in the open air. It starts smelling at any minute.
Yeah, obvious.
So
Also bird food.
Yeah.
don't want
just,
that.
just so that we're not like over engineering, which I know you're gonna do anyway.
Yeah.
That's happening.
The Cauldron McClinky is 4 feet wide, a big potbelly mark. Its mouth is 3 1/2 feet in diameter.
Mhm.
It weighs 50 pounds.
Mhm.
And it can hold up to 30 gallons. So
6 by 6,
I mean, I believe
6 by 8 if we want people. to go
Dalen
with it.
has a control water spell in which he could turn snow into water, fill it pretty easily.
I think you guys should just turn it on the side and roll.
Yeah.
That's it.
I bet we could grab some next time we're in town somewhere. Actually, here might have just a cloak of some kind that we can put over it, attach it with some ropes, and then we just take it on a sled that way and it's covered. We could pack other things in the cauldron while it's not in use
That's true.
on the sled.
But I think, yeah, I mean, I think at the risk of spending the entire night designing a caravan, like,
Karen Marshall to Perry the Blue Boss.
what?
We ever seen Snatch?
Oh, not it. Not this century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I think of caravan, that's what I think, and I'm like, Terry Bosch, Perry Blue Boss.
So
So, yeah.
I was, instead of doing it last night, I was looking at my spell, see what I needed. It's quick heal and knee cantrip
You can't use that.
is totally broken if you, I mean, like, how is that?
Why can't you use it?
Because it's a homebrew spell that I made.
I was like,
Oh,
why am I seeing quick heal on this? Like, this looks really cool. I want to use it.
I believe I would like to know this, maybe even know it twice,
I was like, damn, why do I take the heal spell?
right? Okay, I might be bothered.
Oh,
It's a cantrip fill spell,
well,
first
just
of all.
because I usually have to expend a spell slot to get 1d4 of healing, that I don't have to touch somebody on.
Yeah.
This one,
A cantrip means you could be like, oh, Doink, doink,
But
doink.
it
How
has
do
to
I
have
know
some things.
read the spell because no, you can't.
Can't, it
I'm
has
sure.
to be,
I can't.
they
I
extended since
know
your
how-
last
I
term.
know how healing works in D and D, and I
Sure.
would not have created a spell that broke.
Yeah,
Not
no,
trying to break it,
it's
yeah.
such, no, not that, I mean, I want it, it's just that
Oh, it's
having
good.
played a healer so many times, it's like, no, those are like competing any kind of spell slot with healing is kind of a trade-off, and it doesn't make you take that trade-off spell slot for healing. That's the only reason I was.
Yeah, you gotta get somebody that round.
Yeah, you have to get somebody that round and. But most of the like heavier duty heal spells are by touch. And so you're gonna be within, if you were planning on healing somebody, you're going to be in touch, within touch, or you're going to go for the heal spell that's kind of meh, and you can do it this.
Or you're the monk and every touch spell
Every-
has range. When you are multi-class as a monk.
I like it, but I looked at it and I was like, I'm trading out my cantrip. I didn't know. I was like, wait.
So what do we decide to do?
So we are going to have a travel
Yes.
institution,
And I can,
and we just have to figure out how to take it with us now. I think I would carry it, so.
and
Well,
we'll add,
Sorry,
and then do, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
All of them are gonna.
Here we go.
And we're gonna
That's
get
cool.
sacks of buffers.
For just a key point?
Ingredients.
Yes,
So-
it uses up, but yes, it uses
Yeah,
up,
we're gonna try to run-
you're doing like,
Can you keep it in now?
I mean,
your fury blows.
okay,
your
now,
blast.
it was my suggestion. but I
Oh,
want
okay.
to
Anytime
clarify.
you use for your blood.
I don't think we should just spend our time doing it.
It's just going to-
I think
the way
we should have it
it's
with us, and then if we end up in town anyway,
for the-
we can do the.
That's pretty good, because key points aren't hard to like, it's not free, but definitely not prohibitive either.
There, I would kind of discuss that.
But you have to do get this.
Okay.
Sure. You finish yourself?
Okay.
Me being provided enough water.
30 gallons, but I think you could do less than 30.
No, you can put in any amount of water you want.
As such as something, I believe back at this.
But you have control water, don't you, Dan?
Yes.
You could just take snow and go in water. You can even move the snow in there.
I was saying,
We-
I rode.
Would it turn? You have to activate it. It takes like a minute to activate.
cool.
You have to be like doing something.
But if you want to.
You have to stir it. You have to stir you for it to work.
You mean like if I was asleep? Nice.
We'll try it out. We'll see how it works and we'll make modifications if necessary.
All right, so we are taking the thing, where are we headed?
Well, so that's. all right,
So-
Where's our first stop?
I would say we go back
Oh,
to,
we have to report to mayor. and be like,
Yeah, we have
this
to get the
is
money.
fine.
Got it.
Yeah. the
All right.
should we bring back evidence of their death?
What did we find? We found some things that
We,
was a
I
little
think,
bit
I
like
think we
fishermen.
found some of their clothing. I don't think we found any parts, but
But,
I mean,
with
you
our-
found parts, just
not identifiable.
yeah,
But we found clothing.
Dolph gathered up some to take back. To lay to rest. Didn't you, Alpine?
Yes. Or instructed somebody to do it. I think Birds did the actual stuff.
Clothing.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the wizard killed for having clothes that looked like the fisherman's clothes?
No. He was killed because he. Why was he killed?
For breaking the law.
Breaking the law,
I thought
breaking the
that was
law.
very circumstantial.
I agree.
The law against being a wizard, like, what law are we talking about?
Well, immediately he was told that Rob was afraid you're all about to start a fight with the entire town.
Yeah.
Did you remember I was the one who killed
Yes,
him, ultimately?
yes.
And you do remember the only reason I was trying to stop the killing is because it was inefficient and a waste of resources.
Right, so,
Burning.
yeah. But I
If
was-
wood is so precious, why are you
Dagger.
using so much?
so,
All right, so we're gonna head back to town to give an update on the fishermen.
so just just as a refresher, the wizard's name was Zazan. And he had murdered some adventurers who had aided the people of Icewind Dale in the past.
Oh, yeah. So the
Yeah.
adventurers went for the fishermen, they never found the fishermen, and the adventurers died because of the wizard. Got it.
Or because of the wizard,
Because of the wizard.
They were off to sea. And,
the wonderful wizard.
yeah, and it did not go so.
And,
Was he that one before?
and there was some lore around what they were.
Was he of a?
There
Don't
was some more. There was some- there was
Look behind the curtain.
Wait.
You seem to recall, there was,
It's been just.
they were looking for a tower.
It is bad.
Yes,
tower.
The tower,
There's
isn't it,
I'm eating it
we
into
read the
it.
whole,
Right.
the whole thing about a woman who was like 100 and something, and I was like,
This tension
that's
will
within 3
allow
generations.
this-
Who's your
this
grandfather?
thing
What's his
and
direct
this will give
sources?
it,
Yeah,
and this tension can't
Facts.
allow this
Mere for
to
facts.
Let this up.
Fuck
Let's
your
get this
feelings.
faster.
I see. Okay, so it doesn't actually pull on that.
I mean, we're gonna let it go.
Yeah, until I
To the local birdies. if they
If I go
know what
slower,
tower is.
slower.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the tower is supposed to have the treasure of the
Cause I got to see this.
guy
like,
who left the
why doesn't it
wailing
just pull
woman.
on that?
The wailing woman,
Yeah.
that's it. And is it the white woman? The white wailing
Yeah,
woman?
it's white.
There you go.
Or the white lady.
White lady,
White lady.
white lady.
Yeah,
Yep, which you have all entered multiple times.
That was going to happen.
The white lady named Karen. We're just gonna call that bar Karen
I
from
believe
now
the
on.
last time here, had anything to do, he said he, again, to the back door.
I entered it on a mechanical machine.
See how that mess.
Yeah, I would like to, yeah, I would like to find a local birdie.
I see.
and
That makes sense.
city towers.
And when you're holding tension, this pulls and can't pull in, so then those kids with it. Okay. I
Yeah,
see.
while
That
we're
makes-
out
that
about
makes sense.
scouting, we're going to take a long way around and look for a tower.
Okay, so. Do you summon the weather wheel?
Was a weasel.
Yeah.
Weather weasel.
So the weather wheel, wow. that's a good word. So the weather weasel. Kind of, like, you're pretty sure you woke him. Like, you were seeing like a tired, grumpy weasel. Like, he's tired and grumpy. It's like got a little nightcap on. He's got one eye open, the other one's kind of like, oh, I'm just all over time. He's like, and he like starts to do his little pantomime, little acting out, sort of, almost like weather charades. He starts to do that. He sighs. He pulls a tiny piece of paper from we don't know where, with a little pencil, and he just draws, and he holds up a little sign, and it's just a snowplow, and it just says all day underneath it. You don't know how whether we don't have it right in common. But
I mean, he is a druid. They could have written in
So
weasel.
it's gonna be snowing all day.
it's gonna be snowing all that. Not heavy snow,
I don't
just,
think weasel has
But
snow.
that's it.
Yeah, somewhere between a dusting and a heavy snowfall. Just call it normal snowfall.
Okay, so I mean, I relay this to them. I know Francis Brooke and I as natives, like will travel through this. The constant snowfall all day.
Joe, how will we fare in constant snowfall all day? Will we become exhausted?
You're gonna have to travel across the frozen lake, right? Get back.
Well, you skirted the coastline for a while. You were actually, as I remember, guided by birds. You had a guide bird.
Good word, albatross.
It always works out well.
Extra was.
So what town are we closest to? You may have just said it, but I wasn't paying attention. East Haven, okay.
Place to get very closest to, which I thought was a really weird way to ask
Yeah.
that question, but I'm still about to answer.
I mean, time is relative, so we may come to realize that that is a very appropriate way to ask the question in the
Yeah,
future.
I mean, it's not. It's
You're
not
not
wrong.
wrong. Right.
It's just a weird way to ask the question.
What time are we closest to?
I'm usually out.
Oh, that's rough.
And that is the time Jay got violent. Okay, so we're close to, okay, that makes sense. We were close to East Haven, that's right, because we were kind of by the docks.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
All right, so yeah, did I find a player? I would, I'll take any player I could get. But I would like to find, thank you. I would like to find something in the boat gray one, something that's got really good ice. That's my first choice. My second choice is the other thing. The third choice is that. Wait and left up right.
So, do you have any way to summon a particular creature?
I can only look for them, I can talk to them once I find them.
I mean, you can, I guess you can randomly yell out in the language of different birds,
And that's.
see if that works.
I'm not, no, you're not.
That doesn't seem like
I could use this to the things that we're having to do.
It
Yeah, I'm not the
doesn't,
only
but
one
you
here
know,
that
I,
has this
I,
range.
I don't wanna, I'm not trying to help you out, brother.
There is
Trying
a
to
number of three people.
Give you options.
Like, that's how we-
One of those options
Someone
being,
was like,
But
no,
I'll just,
Dad was, and
so
then all four of us showed up. What's up? I'm like, "What's it?" Oh, nice.
I'm going to suggest that you,
Nice.
you know, whistle and make crinkly bird noises. And then give me, an animal handler check or nature check. Your choice.
Gobble, gobble, fucking gobble, bitches.
I also will,
Is there snow?
I will be good looking.
Oh,
away from
okay.
the dog.
Dog.
I
That
was
he's had,
the
like,
third
oh,
to
I
not be like, oh, I don't want to approach
Oh,
that giant
dog.
group of people. I want the bird to be like, oh, I will approach that lonely guy who seems to know how to talk.
Give the dog the glasses.
We rolled an 11.
You know, it's probably the snow,
It's so
you know, owls, you know, like snow owls, would probably, you know, because it's in the name, I think, yeah, that'd probably be good. But for the moment, this area seems to be bird free.
Well, I mean, there's probably not gonna be a lot of flying around. So I get it.
Yeah.
No,
I really get birds.
they're having an intervention of not taking any more good berries from strangers.
All right, well, yeah, if we don't find the bird, do we want to go try to look for this tower or want to? Just, do we have any clues about its location other than the fishermen were trying to find it?
I think it was the wizard that was killing the adventurers who were going to find, who was going out to find the fishermen, because the adventurers getting in proximity of the tower. Or felt like they knew the location. And maybe he did before he died, you know, when it was, but I don't think that we got more information. But this is just my memory, I did not write.
Yeah, so, anybody else know how to get any information?
Out of a dead person or just in general?
In general, I mean, I tried to get information on birds, now where birds flying around today. Some people I know can talk to dead people. I mean, I could talk to dead people. Some people are gonna have dead people talk back to me.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we could ask the town folk, maybe.
Sorry, I was thinking of a caravan. Are we looking for the tower or the way back to East Haven to get paid for the dead fishermen?
I think we were gonna try to go to the tower if we found out it was more or less on the way back to the state. But if we don't know where it is, then I say we just go back to the state.
Well, and the beauty of heading back to East Haven, we are probably, especially if you run out ahead, might encounter any number of types of animals that might be able to do directly between. Yes, there is a very regular outcropping of rocks.
Well,
Maybe they know the
my
tower.
stated plan, I don't know if Joe interpreted this, but I wasn't going to like devote time to go look for an animal, but as its own separate
Say
activity.
you're cruising.
I was going to do exactly the concept of while we're going.
Yeah.
If I find something, if I see something, say something.
Exactly.
I have holler, and though I have used extra tinkering time to have him more triangulated, or to help me triangulate where the fish is, he was able to go in different directions. So Joe may I send holler?
Wait, what?
So you remember how we used holler as a triangulation device? I don't want to use him as triangulation device presently. I want to use his previous adventures and do the same flying routine here to see if there's anything around.
So you wanna send him out in the windy snow?
Oh, the
Snowy
wind.
wind.
Oh, it's snow and wind.
It's always been.
Icewind Dale.
Yeah, it's not called, it's
Yeah.
not called icy still Dale, it's,
Got it.
yeah, icy wind Dale. I mean, the only difference is whether it's, you know, a breeze or a gale, so, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen, it's just movement speed wouldn't be, it's gonna be like difficult for
Yeah.
anyone. So,
Let me ask,
but if you wanna launch him up into the air and have him do a little searchy search as you're kind of making progress, what exactly are you guys doing? How are you doing it?
We are heading back to East Haven. Trying to see if we can get any info on the tower on the way, although we are not stopping to search for the tower.
Right.
But if I happen to see a bird, if who happens to see a tower, if anybody else has ways to search, they can do as we're going. If we get some tower intel, we may go investigate the tower, depending on what that intel specifically says.
This was the wizard's tower, right, that died, or this is what?
This is some tower he was obviously interested in.
Sure.
Oh, he was super very interested in it.
and
He was like, man, I really want to find that tower before the members of the Arcade Brotherhood get to it. But I think there's cool shit there.
So yeah, if we can figure out where the
My
tower
radar is like,
is,
I'm
we
trying to
may go to the
Channel
tower.
this.
But otherwise, we're just going to.
does Iggy have any, I don't think Iggy was necessarily with us last time. Does Iggy have any recollection of where this tower might be in regards to the 10 towns after? You know, Iggy has adventured many different places.
Iggy old.
Well, and I was about to ask, is this something that's like, do people in Icewind Dale know about this tower?
It's a myth, right? Because it's where the wailing woman, the white lady.
Okay.
Are we mixing
If
things
it's
up, Joe, or is this the same? Because I could totally believe I was mixing two things together about the
Same sis.
the lady and the tower.
So, you're relatively certain that the tale of the white lady and her tragic tale has nothing to do with the lost wizards.
Okay. Then I
Yeah,
reject.
but the only connection that you guys really have is that you know that Dizon was apparently asking around about it. And there were some the adventurers that he murdered while they were searching for the Fisher Folk. They came back and said they found some, like they're like, hey, you know, we stumbled upon this tower. It was, you know, out there. And you know, they were kind of talking about it. He overheard that and probably interrogated them first and then, you know, murdered the shit out of them because, you know, Arcane Brotherhood, they're cool people.
Yes.
So they're neat. We like them.
So the question is, so the adventurers were looking for the fish. We know where the fish were. Correct. The question is, do I know who these adventurers are? I mean, I'm an adventurer in Icewind Dale too.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, if there were known people, it might have been.
Croesus, and Broad, give me
Is Iggy also a,
I need a,
Yeah, I think Iggy
I
might
need
be
a
native.
stat for random chance, you know what? Roll me, both of you roll me a D100. Ooh, I like that.
I'd like to borrow D100.
Oh,
Someone exclaimed something about Iggy.
Yeah, you're native to Icewind Dale, right, Iggy?
That is correct, yes.
And you're an egg,
You
right?
might have a percentage chance.
Yeah,
to know
you can, yeah, go ahead and roll me a D100.
83.
All righty,
23.
all righty.
Let me, I don't have my dice with me, so let me roll it and roll 20.
Trying to see if we know who the murdered adventurers were.
they're eggs.
43.
23, 43, and 83.
That's
It's a pretty good spread.
wild. That is a pretty good spread.
There
Those
is
are all
an order.
Right.
So, Iggy, you've never heard of them. Croesus, you think maybe you might sort of kind of have heard of him at one point, but you're not really sure. Broad, you recognize the names and don't ask me for them or I'll have a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah. You, they were not like high level badasses.
What is this is the reason I asked this question in the first place. If Broad knows them, or he knows of them, what is Broad's opinion of their reputation? Trackers.
Ooh.
Because they went looking for
Very,
people.
very, yeah. they were
Yeah.
I
very-
want to know if I
Okay,
think they did. a good
Broad?
job.
Okay, hold on. Your opinion of them as trackers
oh.
is absolutely that they think they're good, but you absolutely know that you were way better.
Well, I know Broad thinks he's better.
Oh, it's
Broad
better.
can still recognize
That's a
that
given.
other people can be good trackers.
You know, let me put it this way. Broad is what you would call a tough son of a bitch to impress. And he was, I mean, competent. You know, you would consider him like competent on a good day, not brilliant, definitely not as good as you. And you know, you also knew that they liked to take on jobs without any sort of half upfront payment. So you consider them to be pretty careless, but you've never heard of any sort of situation that they were in, but they were accused of being anything less than true. They were not liars.
So we really, they might have been on the right trail for the fishermen.
Well,
But if we don't really know where the adventurers went, I say, yeah, we just go back to town.
we want to leave and get more information. Joe, as you're cogitating back there, yeah, I'm really wishing that I could find my really good. Dalen's researching the Covenant area here. Do you know of a wizard who's maybe in power or something that is arcana history background that even if I don't know a location, I might be knowing who the brother who's looking for. I mean, you do remember, I mean, the reason you were originally sent here was because your organization got wind of the Arcane Brotherhood sniffing around, for a place, not a person. Okay. So I mean, you don't know if it was a tower or Aor or you know, or what, but you do know that they
were here because they were investigating something to do with a place and the power of deduction. You know, if the Arcane Brotherhood is looking for a place, it's because it's got a lot of magic shit. Yeah, so. All right, that you're confident.
Sure enough.
I'm not confident enough in their tracking abilities to, go gallivanting off after the stone. So. What? Yes. So let's go back to town. Let's have a random encounter on the way. Let's go.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, right, when you put it that way.
I'm in favor of this. Actually, it's not going to be random. Oh,
No,
so,
you call this a hubris encounter?
so, it's gonna take you, roughly half a day to get back, Dragon Boat Cauldron and whatnot. You're actually making good time, it's kind of snowing. Visibility, not super great as usual. Although it is pretty much twilight level of darkness, so dim light, maybe a little bit brighter than good light. And you see something very, very curious about maybe 50 to 100 feet away. You give me a perception check. If you have any sort of,
I'm observant.
you are observant. Give me some sweet seed.
I mean, it's dark, so as soon as I see there's something curious up there, I'm
Mhm.
going to knock an arrow and lean down and I'll ask Hoot to take a look, since Hoot can actually see in the darkness. Maybe be worth it.
Okay.
And,
Let me know if I need to snap the light out, or at least cover it up. Actually, Joe, outside I know it's always dim, but are we walking along probably without lights, and we can see enough not to trip, or would I have a light so we don't?
I would assume that you would need some sort of light.
Perfect. Yeah, I would assume I would do. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, yeah, it's like walking out at 6.
Yeah, well.
Not quite, okay.
Yeah. I mean, plus, wind, snow.
Yeah.
Alex frozen, okay, yeah, hands. Yeah.
It's kind of miserable outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not great.
on the scale of like crappy
Really
to
not good.
miserable that Icewind Dale gets, it's on the more miserable side.
okay,
So give me some sweet, what'd you get?
I got a 7 on perception, but I'm not trained in perception,
seeing
which makes
something.
me mad because I'm observant, so I have this feat that means I'm supposed to be pretty awesome. So I want to go back and read my feat.
You have a
that's
good
good-
passive
That's a
perception.
good idea.
passive perception.
Right, what is your passive perception?
Passive perception is at a 15.
Only a 15?
Well, cause
Passive, wait,
you
yeah, passive wisdom, passive perception, but I think
your
for
feat-
passive-
Oh, no, because you did passive investigation, you chose passive investigation to be higher. You had the
Yeah.
option in passive
Yeah.
perception or investigation, you chose investigation, which makes that pretty
Yeah.
fair.
No, that feat just does both. Gives no choice.
Doesn't it do both?
Yeah, it does both.
Yeah, it makes your passive investigation and your passive perception like pretty great, doesn't it? What do you
Features
do?
and
What's
traits.
your wisdom?
Wisdom is 11.
Okay, so that's plus 0.
Plus-
You're not proficient. so
Yeah,
that's
it'd be plus
0.
5.
So
Yeah.
plus 5, that's exactly right.
That's correct.
16,
Good thing.
you said 11. Oh,
No,
plus
11 is a plus 0.
plus 0,
Yeah.
plus 5,
You
so
start at 10.
Yeah.
start at
So
10.
10 plus 0
15.
plus 0 plus 5 is usually.
You know what? Because you are observant and because the scene that I am about to describe is weird, how would you make an investigation check?
Ha! Fuck yeah, all day long.
Hold on. Brian is actually going to roll perception because this is what happened. we stopped, pulled in there, it's like, dude, what do you see? And Hoot was like, snow?
Right.
I wasn't fried fruits. That was gonna be like, okay, I guess I better try. Just went by the stupid human eye.
Yeah, be more specific to who. Who else is rolling?
Well, I rolled a one.
Who gets to roll?
Okay, well, so Broad.
I rolled a
you-
5. I'm thinking about that damn caravan.
Who gets
Your
to,
forward scouts are
So-
not doing a good job.
who gets to roll, just to make sure I'm not missing the roll that I should be taking?
Well, you're like a
I
forward
think,
scout.
okay, everybody make either
No.
a perception or an investigation roll.
Oh, no, it was a forward scout, that's not me.
Well, I was under the impression there was, but I was just saying.
I'm gonna say Laura and I saw nothing in these rolls. I'm glad I got those out of the way there.
Well,
Oh, I could have rolled. I should have rolled this. That's so much better than that. I just.
I concur with Hoot.
Please.
Yes,
We
for
are
the
all
love of
God.
God and roll with advantage.
Iggy, roll perception.
I have
God damn it! I rolled it then on there and I got it.
I got an 18.
I got a 10.
18 for Iggy.
Iggy got an 18.
Wow.
All of us are thinking about the caravan.
So some of you are thinking about
It's
crop
cold.
pots, some of you are thinking about,
Who-
you know,
what do you
maybe
He's,
not
no,
being
of course.
cold, right?
What would you expect from
You see something
No, my voice got weird.
very,
My accent. It's changed.
very odd.
Huh, that's
about-
why Croesus
we're gonna
again.
Call it 80 feet
I've
away.
lost Croesus.
I see something how many feet away? Sorry,
80.
About 80 feet away.
about 80 feet away.
Have dark vision.
You got sunglasses on.
No, lizard folk do not have dark vision.
Wow.
Also, dark vision, except for a very few
It's
black
60
ass
feet,
races,
yeah.
60 feet.
All right, well, you
With advantage, I rolled a above 20.
rolled about 20.
Yes.
Good.
And I have dark vision past 60 feet.
Oh, you do.
Yes.
Okay, then. Well, you actually see this
Sorry.
more than Iggy. Iggy, you get about half the details that I'm just about to get.
Awesome.
Chris and Iggy, you see, the rest of you see this, you're just not able to make out anything.
I'm just.
You see what appears to be a young humanoid female in a maybe not a ball gown, but definitely an ornate, very gothic dress made of black and purple and with pink highlights. And the bodice is very firm fitting. She has gray. Yeah, she has gray hair that's, kind of comes down this way. And tied around her head is this huge ribbon. It makes a big bow that is striped in purple and pink.
It's so
And
nice.
she's carrying a dark purple and pink striped parasol that she has open, and for all intents and purposes,
Zombie
She
Mary
is-
Poppins. All right.
traipsing along,
Yep.
with a little parasol, keeping the snow off of her. And she kind of stops and she turns around and she waves.
The worst part about this is like none of this is cold weather gear, which says gives all the alarm bells.
Sure.
Okay, so she waves. So she's walking the same direction we are.
She's walking perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Okay. So she's waving. Okay.
She
um,
waves. She seems super friendly.
I'm sure they are until they bite our heads off. Everybody, if you all read the book Mary Poppins, there's a Mary Poppins in over there. We're behind the snow and the wind, and she's waving at me with her umbrella parasol thing. She's not wearing anything for the weather, and that concerns me greatly. Does anyone else see this? Am I imagining this? Am I crazy?
think you just have really good eyesight.
Where?
Maybe you're crazy. Let me see. Yep. Feeling
Well,
sick.
I can't actually see all that far, but I thought I heard a Mary Poppins type of creature over there.
If you,
I knew I
if you
wasn't
have a
crazy.
chat, you will all get a very good idea of what she looks like.
The image isn't loading. Let
Um,
me see it. Oh, there it is.
Dave?
She's not too far in front of us. I switch accents again. I keep doing this. What is wrong? I'm
It's
losing
been
Croesus.
You're out of practice.
I'm very out of
Yeah,
practice.
yeah, we gotta play.
She's just a little ways in front of us, and she's walking across our path. If we stop here, she will pass us, and maybe she won't see us, even though she's already waved to me.
She's already seen us, Chris. If she's waved at you.
I mean, it's very snowy and windy.
But she seemed nice.
Yes, and that concerns me too.
Of course it does.
I don't trust.
What's the problem? She's nice.
Oh, that one's a valid concern. There's not a lot of nice people up here.
Talked about it.
Oh, she's
Exactly,
awesome.
Iggy.
Apparently.
She's nice.
People
She's
look
not
good
dressed for the
dressed.
weather. I don't like it.
Well, let's start by being nice to her.
Well, hold on. There's a thing.
You could say that she's doing Croesus a concern.
I could say that, or I could talk like a normal person.
I mean,
Spoken
yeah,
like someone
I will,
who doesn't have a dog.
After hearing this description.
You do have a dog.
It wasn't such a huge radius.
But
It
then
makes
upon-
so much more. But it's like, permeable awareness. As an action, I
Considering
will
whatever case it
extend
was.
one spell slot. And now I know whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fey, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of me.
There's definitely a thing.
Well, yeah, but
I mean,
They're
do
not-
you, does it give you like a theme or a red arm?
I don't know where they are, but I know what types are.
There's a very slight celeste.
And I mean, this is the only terrain I've ever known, so I'm assuming it's.
So you do this as you're going through, doing the thing, this figure begins walking forward. And your primeval sense goes off, and you're like, bang, bang, bayish, undeadish.
Oh, is this the vampire from the body that we found that was all drained of blood?
Oh, right! There's vampires here too.
Anyway, I don't like to fight the undead. I don't know if you know this, but they do not have usable meat. You don't eat them. So there's really no point.
I don't have samples though.
I mean, I guess you could make leather if they're skin.
Fayish,
Depending on the
undead. Who's the Fey or the Fey?
Okay, so
Well, it's probably, you also get slight celestial probably. I don't know what asthma are.
We're the Fey.
I'm not spinning.
It's
I
like
spent-
campaign 3. This place is lousy with that.
yes.
I mean, just
I'll
lousy.
give it to my next.
So,
We play humans every.
right, so.
Are they
as you
gonna
guys
be
are
magically
having this
inclined?
discussion, she's gone
Fine,
from
they're
80 feet to
It's
60
just like
feet.
a month here. It's that long.
And she waves again and says,
Hello. Hi.
are you guys the Lamplighters?
Oh.
Perhaps.
5, 4.
Yeah.
May I have a
Three.
sample of your hair? That is
She looks at you and she says, oh, you're that way. And then she waves her hand and they need to all make wisdom saving throws at disadvantage.
Oh no, I'm not good at those.
Oh, no.
I mean, can I ask you
Oh,
one
wait.
question?
Disadvantage.
Is
8.
this about to start combat?
Oh, no.
Maybe.
Okay. You start combat, if you tell me roll.
Oh, all right.
Okay, yeah, I'm about there. too.
Well,
And I would like cake.
I would very much like to.
that is a 9,
Uh-huh.
and who,
Let's go to 9, 10,
who'd say it was 11?
7.
8.
We got a 10, and a 10,
14.
a 14.
Yeah.
And you have a 10?
I have a 10, because it was a
Yeah,
disadvantage.
disadvantage, without a 10, I had a 24,
Yeah, I
without
had
a disadvantage, I had a 24.
Who rolled the lowest?
I rolled an 8.
You rolled an 8.
I rolled a 10 minus 2.
Iggy?
14.
Did we all just get sleep?
So
TPK?
Iggy, if you rolled above a 10, roll me a D100.
You rolled above
10?
a 10.
Or above? Or just,
10 plus.
got it.
Oh.
Because a lot of us rolled 10.
Yeah,
Yep.
I rolled an 8. I rolled below a 10.
That's true. You did.
13 for
Huh.
Hoot. One was
20.
below,
Yep.
so.
I rolled a 50.
52.
65.
65.
53.
53. Laura, you rolled a 10.
Mhm.
So did you roll a?
I did not.
Mhm.
61.
61. Okay. If you rolled 10 or under, you fall unconscious,
I'm unconscious, guys.
except Sandalphon.
Hang on, the glasses have to come off for that.
Okay, so
If you rolled a
10 under.
if you rolled a 9,
Okay,
if you rolled under a 10,
Got
okay.
it.
which would be a 9,
Yeah.
under.
Got it.
10 minus,
You become unconscious. But not me.
but not you, because you were the literal low man on the totem pole. If you rolled above a 50 on the D100, you are conscious, you can see, but you are paralyzed.
And if you rolled below a 50, I rolled a 20.
You sucked out and you fall unconscious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, fun mechanical thing. I'm paralyzed, but I am on a steel defender.
Does the Steel Defender have the ability to make wisdom saving throws at disadvantage?
I don't know.
Perhaps you should do that.
He does have a wisdom save. However, I believe he has some sort of immunity.
Not to this.
Okay,
All right, so I am,
1,
what is that?
2.
Oh, that means your life is hell. I would much rather.
Be
like,
asleep.
Be unconscious.
My poor
So-
steel defender got a 19 and then got a 1.
Boo. Okay.
So now I'm on top of.
So those of you who are conscious and paralyzed see this girl. You're conscious
Uh-huh.
and paralyzed.
Got it.
And you see this girl.
I knew I was worried
Walks
for a reason.
over and she looks at you. And she looks at you that are conscious and she waves. And you see her like she's saying your names, but she's whispering. She kind of goes around and identifies everybody. And then Sandalphon, I need to borrow you outside for a couple minutes.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh.
So this is this a charm?
No, I think we're
It
just,
is a magical effect.
it's a magical effect.
It's not a spell. It is considered a superpower.
So paralyzed, not quadriplegic. What is paralyzed? What's that?
Paralyzed condition is you can't like take actions.
Yeah, but can you talk?
You're considered incapacitated, I believe.
Yes.
Hold on. Now I have to do
You
it.
can't take actions, move, or speak.
Let's have-
Anything
One,
prevents actions from-
Two. I got 3 things on the board.
Oh, is that?
11.
A paralyzed creature is incapacitated, can't move or speak.
Okay.
Yeah, incapacitated, you can't take action. for that.
And it's over 50, you're paralyzed.
And
Right?
you automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Ha! Holler is still moving
Why is Holly still moving?
because it got an 11 on the wisdom save and rolled a 15 on a D100.
That means
15?
that means
15
it falls
you're
asleep.
out. You had to be above 50.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I fell asleep. I passed the check and fell asleep.
oh, I passed the check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're above 50, then you're still up.
Then you're awake but paralyzed.
Yeah.
Can you do an action that doesn't require any movement?
Yeah, you can't take an action.
That seems wrong.
So like,
There's a light switch if you want to light.
can't like even say something?
Nope.
No.
Bullshit.
So like I can make it where I can cast spells out and say anything. That's still taking an action.
Yeah, I can't, if I could take an action, I would, I could settle spell all day long.
Yeah. So I think the point of what he's trying to do though is something needs to happen that we can't interfere. So I don't really
Yeah.
spike.
Right.
True
I'm
enough.
looking for something that'll just help me, like, when it's my turn to make a roll, I get out of it quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I was like, I can still cast spells. No, I can't because, and I actually hate this. This is roll 20, but it's like be paralyzed. Paralyzed creatures incapacitated. See the condition. No, it's one line. Go ahead and put that description in the paralyzed thing.
Right.
Don't make me go look somewhere else.
Don't
If
go
it was a paragraph, I get it, but it's one line.
I know.
You use up most of the letters of that line saying to go see the other thing.
Hey,
It's funny
That's
because
what
it
was
can
on
be
there.
You
action.
automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws.
Yeah.
And attacks against you have advantage.
It's funny that also it says you can't take actions or reactions, but when they say actions, they also mean bonus actions. But if you're gonna tell me I can take actions and reactions, why not also do, it's digital text.
Right.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
throw in bonus action as
Right.
well.
true. True.
You would not forget the action. I think it's now,
Can't take actions or react. Well, because actions is a bonus action.
but a reaction, and they're all the different types of actions you can take.
They are.
So why list reaction if you're not gonna list bonus action?
I guess because they figure actions cover everything you can do in your turn. And
Yeah,
reactions cover everything you can do outside of your turn.
okay.
And then that should encompass everything you could do.
Yeah.
Period is. Yeah. They could be, if this was like a competitive game, it'd be more clarified.
Yeah.
But
He turned out pretty well. His hand, staff, and the lamp is kind of messed up. Other than that, he turned out pretty well.
yeah. It's not bad.
His left hand's supposed to kind of be doing this.
Oh,
Kind of like
sure.
Doing this, looking up. at-
He's kind of like, now he's just like has a glove on.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to get his balance, maybe. He's
Yeah.
slipping on some ice.
Definitely, and it's supposed to be, except it melted a little bit, a lamp. So there's a lamp.
Oh, sure. Did you ever see Croesus?
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Croesus came out pretty good, the way Joe played him.
I do.
You do?
And I have Guardiola. Mhm.
Yes.
Their people can admire them.
Well, this is unfortunate.
Quite sad.
I know.
Have you watched any of the later Critical Role stuff?
I haven't watched anything critical in a while, but I'm not opposed to spoilers because
Oh,
there's so much of it, I
Yeah.
can't like
Yeah.
catch up.
You
Because
can,
each-
trust me. All
Okay,
it takes is dedication.
but like each episode is like what, 6 hours?
They tend to be about 3.5 if you fast forward through the break.
Yeah, anywhere between 3 to if you skip the opener, which Ally won't let me do. She likes them being silly. And you skip the half-hour break in the middle, you're about 3 to 3.5.
Now,
When you
there
look
are a
at
few-
4, it's a worthwhile watching episode.
yeah, there are a few episodes that are like 5, 6 hours.
Yeah,
The vast majority of them come in at 3.5 if you get a little
How many episodes per season?
There's 115 in the first one, 140 in the second one, and so far 27
yeah.
in the third one.
Yeah, that's so, I mean, nothing
Basically,
is
you're
bad.
not watching anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing about it is.
Probably will start putting on when I run out of shows, but right now I'm still through like season 5 of Voice, so I got a ways to go.
Here's my thing. My advice, if you want to catch up, and I think it's worthwhile to do,
Yeah.
as I have been doing. I've done episodes, campaign 1, I'm 90 episodes into campaign 2, and I'm probably in campaign 3. Campaign 1 and 2 especially, but even campaign 3, you really don't have to watch.
Yeah.
Sure, right, would I probably put it on while I work.
Yeah.
So
That's-
Ally actually downloaded a bunch of Calamity, actually all of Calamity, no, all of Calamity. And we were listening to it on the car ride to and from Indiana.
Oh, yeah, they do release it as a podcast even.
Yeah.
There is. the audio.
So yeah, we listened.
Yes.
Yes. And sometimes it's fun watching them because they're adorable,
Yeah,
but really,
so,
you got 90% out of it.
so I have a feeling I'd get
And-
out of it just more D&D technique, style, ideas, things like that.
So there's
Where did Jay go?
There's no one.
Back there.
Oh, he was vacuum.
Andrea, Brandon, and
Mhm.
they have a couple of spoilers.
Oh, That round table was amazing.
Yes.
It's
There-
a
there's
cookie
minute and a
strawberry
half of
ice
Brandon
cream in the middle.
answering the question. I think it's probably one of the best things. Everybody who
Look at
plays.
it.
it-
I don't know.
Or the GM.
You don't have to
Allison
puppy
wants
noise
to
at me.
book it.
I'd love to. Sure.
No puppy noise at me.
In itself,
You already went, or you went out front?
No, I already left.
Oh, okay,
I
fine.
figured I would take the opportunity.
But-
You don't mind the spoilers, because honestly, like. Yeah, if you haven't watched Calamity, you should.
Oh, yeah.
But.
Yeah.
Right, no spoilers, I'm just gonna say, it was shockingly great. Like Shannon and I went into it, we were like.
It's not Matt.
Yes, it's not Matt, I've seen Brandon before, and he's kind of, I've seen him play, he's really kind of bombastic and annoying. I want to hit him sometimes.
He's
And,
the young gravy of D&D.
And then he pulled it off like a boss.
He knocked it out of the park.
He did, he really did.
Owen. Do you agree that Brennan Lee Mulligan is the young gravy of D&D?
I mean, Young Gravy is such a unique specimen that it's hard to say anyone can be the Young Gravy of anything else. But he's pretty close, I'll say.
What's the sparkle in your eyes? That is creepy. The sparkle in your eye keeps me alive.
I don't
I
remember.
listen to music and the lyrics give me ideas for things to do. And then I run them through the fuckery filter. And yeah, that's where we are.
Patent pending.
Patent pending, fuckery
I love
filter.
patent.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all, you were talking about music. That's a band that I like.
Well, in this case, it was the Cult. She sells sexual.
The first ones that eat something cold, I'm like, I'm cold. Yeah. You know what else is cold? The band?
Side blacks.
These are bullshit. But I'm
Allie's really big on the Second Amendment. She has the right to bear arms.
my arms are full.
Has you seen Thor: Love and Thunder?
No,
Not yet,
but
but I
I'm
want
supposed to go.
I've heard it's actually very good.
I've heard complete opposite ends of the spectrum. I've heard it's very good, and I've heard people did not enjoy it
So-
at all.
On Shanna's birthday, One of our ad hoc clients is Nothing But Cakes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're supposed to be very good.
They do a
are.
lot of stuff with Southwestern.
Yes.
We get a lot of them.
So we traipsed over there. The problem was somebody took cables on the router, literally unplug. Jeez, watch this, kids. Grandpa brings down an empire by changing a 1 to a 0. And when we were get done, and I'm like, hey, can we order? And the owner, Brittany, she goes, whatever you want, it's free. And I'm like, oh, damn it. Shanna's favorite cake on the planet is red velvet cake. So we traipsed out of there with a fully decorated giant ass red velvet cake slathered in thick beads of cream frosting. It was so good. It was one of those, like you could feel the diabetic shock kind of kick, especially for Shannon, now that I think about it. But you could feel it kind of creeping in, and you're just kind of, I need some insulin, but you're happy, right? Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Huh?
Diabetic?
She is, yes.
So
Type 1.
Mm.
so.
I love Nothing But Cakes. I think they do great things. I have very strong feelings about red velvet cake
Okay.
because red velvet is not a fucking flavor. It's shitty ice. It's shitty chocolate cake with red dye
You're
and
right.
vinegar. It's what it is.
You're
It's
right.
not a flavor,
And
but
to make it
whoever
even
enjoys
worse,
it, go for it.
theirs has chocolate chips. So, yeah. So just, like they're leaning into that whole, it's red chocolate.
There is a
And
place where you order chicken and waffles and they make a red velvet waffle.
Yeah.
And now that you've described it as chocolate, my brain is like,
It
that's
is,
weird.
it's a chocolate cake with vinegar
Yep.
that causes the chocolate to take on a red tinge, but it's not quite red enough for our brains. So you add dye. Alton
Interesting.
Brown has a red velvet cake recipe that has
So,
beets produced in it.
So we're asleep
are we all back?
or paralyzed.
We are
So-
all frozen.
So those of you that remain conscious, watch this young lady kind of walk around Sandalphon a couple of times, lean in really, really uncomfortably close and whisper something in her ear. And then she runs a fingernail down her cheek and she waits. And you watch Sandalphon drop unconscious, and then you all fall unconscious. And you come to consciousness, all of you, around about the same time. And
Where did she go?
the girl is nowhere to be seen. Sandalphon here. Sandalphon's here? Mhm.
I stagger up, move over to Sandalphon.
Nah.
Okay, good. So the cheek, her own cheek or Sandalphon's cheek? I checked your face.
There's some scars on there, but they're probably old.
It's uncomfortably close. I'm checking you
You're acting like tax.
a bit.
Do you think that I'm not coming over as soon as I get out from under my, as soon as my steel defender gets off of me, I will be right there.
Croesus is looking for anything that's not the party because he's really unhappy with what he's happened.
Investigation check, in Jim?
Sandalphon, how are you feeling?
No, that's not good.
Angry. But that's not
5.
normal.
I see snow. I rolled a 5.
With a little time and.
The snow is dark.
Maybe delve and see if anything was done to you. Anything more than's already been done to you?
What happened? Did everyone fall asleep?
My memory is a little fuzzy, like it is with most things. But it's bits and pieces. I don't really remember most of it.
You do remember her name.
Sandalphon definitely remembers her name. I know it starts with an S.
She called herself Princess
Princess
Shalty.
Shaltier. Princess Shaltier.
Well, think
Chad? History?
history. Any of you, and those of you who are Icewind Dale natives, they can check with it.
Princess Shelby.
So the advantage really helped 17.
Oh my God, I think it is a 19.
What type of role was it?
History.
History with advantage if you're from the area. If you're not, just regular old history.
Princess Shelby.
19.
19,
No, yeah.
19,
9.
17? You got a 9?
Yeah.
I
You're
also got a 9.
You're probably the one oldest enough to have maybe even been alive when it happened. So you're kind of like, princess, something now, I don't know. And the rest of you,
I thought Iggy was, I mean, Iggy's only old for Lizard Folk, which was like 30. right?
I always imagined me being like 148. You know, like no matter what the lifespan is of a lizard folk, he's that old.
Iggy got the druid like capstone, the timeless body at level 1.
Right? So Icewind Dale natives with with a 15 plus, or anyone with 15 plus. There is a story of a family that may or may not have been actual royalty, but it was a family. They had a daughter, and she liked dressing in, well, for lack of a better term, gothy, kind of lollygoth sort of thing. And she disappeared one day, and she was never found again. And it is a very sad story that caused people to cry. And if you hear it, you shall tear up, cry, because it's very sad. But, you know, it's just a story. Probably.
Okay.
That's just a story.
Well, evidently not.
I could call myself Mary Poppins, but that doesn't make me Mary Poppins.
What are you saying, Mary?
Bro, Jaga, are there any tracks beyond what we've turned out?
Survival check, please, with advantage.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I really
Because I
like
mean,
this.
there are definitely tracks of something else in a circle around where you found Sandalphon. So
Yeah, well, I want to find out where this chick is gone. Probably Dimension Door away.
yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh, that's a 7. I thought that was a 4. That makes it slightly better. And actually, Broad's got a disgusting survival. So, yeah, that's actually a 6. Wow.
The favorite terrain probably helps that a lot.
There's a reason I made Broad like insufferably egotistical about his tracking skill. He's actually
He's actually really good about it. Yeah, it's kind of his thing. So, Rod, you easily find these tracks. They're like almost like high-heeled boots of a teenage girl, right? Like if Benbro were into high-heeled leather boots, that'd be what she wears. And they go off for some distance, and they're the depth they sink into the snow is very consistent. And you follow it for about 30, maybe 40 feet out, and then the tracks disappear, but from like the last 5 or 6 steps, the depth they're pushing to the snow gets less and less until they're like half prints and then minimal.
And when they were consistent, were they also consistent with how I would expect someone in that frame to have one?
Yes.
I looked around for any kind of local wildlife in the immediate vicinity. Brother?
Nature animal. Give it to me with advantage.
Like this is.
What
do you do?
Six.
Calamity style rolling right there.
What?
I think I can
Calamity
pull it off.
style rolling there plus I'm like.
Well, that was only a plus six. That was not good.
We need to announce though.
But
We cheer for that.
I would say
Probably it's not numbered the same way.
guys are.
Number different.
So
Yeah, because this is a 7.
Um,
this is a 0. Or is it?
you kind of look over. Not a lot of brush here, but kind of a very low tundra-esque
No.
scrub and some rocks. You see air gravity and sticking up as a rabbit hears you and like trying to zero in on you with his ears so you can see him.
Is this a spot? Pull out a good bird.
Uh-huh.
2 is
Kind of
across.
knees out around,
2 should be there.
with a little rabbit nostril,
It's definitely not 2.
ears kind of creeping over to you.
So maybe it's Spanish. Maybe it's-
Slowly inches up to
So
you,
that's 8.
pausing. They come no
Yeah, so we have to. Here's 7 and 0 spots.
Sniffs a good berry, kind of looks up at you,
3 is
like,
there.
almost questioning. He like, big old red heat, slink into it, and he like goes down and get berry. And like,
It's a
you
rabbit.
haven't seen a lot of rabbits in a state of bliss, but this one seems to be in pretty high. Like this,
I love it.
I mean, it's probably the best thing you guys had to eat, probably in this whole little rabbit life.
What's the flying on the berries?
Berry-
I'm
good
still
berry.
flying on Barry Ross.
This rabbit's name is Joseph.
Rabbits can only catch 4.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's 1,000. I know one of
See a woman.
Feels like a rabbit, right?
If you've ever read the Watership Down, that's
Where?
the thing.
Very.
It's been a long time since I've read it.
Did you see what happened to her? She got to about right here. And then they tried to-
You have a lot of open ends.
Looks over, looks where
We have a lot of open ends.
she goes,
I do. Right.
she started to float. And then she turned into a dark mist and faded away.
Have you, brothers, sisters, any families to speak of?
He just kind of looks at you and raises one rabbit eyebrow and he goes, "You're familiar with our work, right?"
But I also know it's a high commercial, try to quality solve.
This is true. That's why we put in the extra hours and the extra effort to make sure there are many brothers and sisters to survive.
Well,
I love
So you start, he holds up this little rabbit paws, and you can see rabbits aren't good at math, but he runs out of fingers. He goes through toes, ears, bunny tail,
The square.
and he's like, a lot? I don't know, a lot?
1,000. Prayer.
well, this place seems safe enough for the time there. Gather 29 of them. And, I will leave them each a day. Don't get selfish on them.
Well, you know they're not here, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to go and get them, unless you have a way to transport the berries and stuff.
I'm a rabbit. Not usually.
He looks over and he goes, hey, that short weirdo over there, I'll bet she knows how to make me a little good berry back.
Yeah, but how quickly can you make a
Smooth talker.
Probably just a little power.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should have. You know what a log stone cylinder that construction around here would be? Probably a cylinder, might be a rectangular prism. Or a
parallel
prism.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of things to put there, but probably.
Well, yeah, give me just one moment. Well, first off, I'm gonna have to make I'm gonna make a really weird check for a rabbit, and that's a 4. He's like. That's another 4. This rabbit ain't seen shit. He's like,
He was tending to his reputation.
huh?
He's tending to his reputation.
Very true, but also, you know, doesn't. I don't know what rabbits' ears are like.
I mean, it's fine. I know.
Short.
It's
I
not,
don't-
it's
I
not a
don't
thing.
necessarily expect every animal we run into to have every answer to every question.
Yeah,
They're animals, I get it. But yeah, I will, I'm, going to cast 2 more good berries, got 29 good berries on the ground, and we'll get in the vicinity. Go, tell your friends, tell your family.
he goes, but I want that. I want a place. Can I get a place out? And he kind of acts, you happen to glance over and you see like Rajaga's lean down talking to a bunny rabbit. And the bunny rabbit's looking at you and waving a paw. And making a noise, you don't understand it, pretty sure rabbits.
I look
But
over
you
at
see all the
that.
good berries on the ground and you're like, how is the bunny rabbit gonna carry all those good berries?
That's,
Yes.
I need a small sack that could be affixed to a bunny.
Okay. So into the magical bag of holding, and I will take some
I don't like it.
ripped material, do mend on it, get needle, thread.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it.
Yeah.
It's not a big project. The rabbit's right there, your keen eye and mind's able to work out the necessary dimensions, and within a few minutes, you produce a bunny sack. You're pretty confident and hold a bunch of good berries.
I would like to use this as a small prototype for something to affix to the bottom of the caravan to carry. If I extend the size
Ooh,
to
good
carry,
idea, good idea. In that case.
because it's been on the brain.
Yeah, give me some tinker action for transferring the prototype. We'll call this like a little trial and error.
Is it just straight up intelligence check?
Tinkering, see out your proficiency, see if you're
Yeah,
proficient in tinker
it's an
tools.
intelligence check with proficiency, and tinker's tools, just, being taxed.
So, you know what? Let's do this. Wait, am I at advantage because I made?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure. why not?
Well, it's a 12 plus 4 plus 3.
What do you want?
I really like.
So that's
it in the hair.
20,
Yeah, but he still identifies it. He's definitely a
19.
hare that he identifies as a man.
The 19.
You are really like definitely not the exact same thing, but now you know that when you go to, if you decide to make a big version, you'll have to go.
Sweet.
So, why?
Because,
Just tell me why.
oh, you can guess, can't you? You know, one of the differences between bunnies and cats, right?
I mean,
Enlighten us, Jay.
bunnies are tasty.
Bunnies,
Tastes
rabbits
good.
are completely herbivorous. There's. I enjoy it.
Oh my Christ.
You're
You're pretty sure it's a bunny.
Fun fact.
I'm just gonna nip that in the bud
Yeah.
right now.
Rabbit,
It's a bunny.
only rabbits.
It's a bunny. He's
You
got a
will
bunny
die
sack.
up mountain-
He is
mountain
very
pasture.
grateful. He just.
Yeah, they don't have.
And this is the
any
origin of the
nutrition.
Easter Bunny of
They-
Icewind Dale.
But
That
only
was very.
That's exactly right.
You're taking
Do
fat.
you make
Eat them.
the
They're
bunny
not-
sack out of
Yeah.
striped material?
Absolutely, it's
Okay.
leftovers pajamas I got.
Oh,
left.
yeah, so
Hundreds
you
of dollars.
are
Doesn't
relatively
really good way to
confident
lose weight though.
because you draw
You just like
everything
everything
you
rabbit
see.
only for a while. and
So
then
you
go back
make
to, like,
a
regular.
very good, like,
If you limit your
children's book quality illustration
Careful.
of a little rabbit with a sack full of orbs, like happily jumping off into the snow.
It's like the best day for the
Oh,
rabbit
Oh,
ever.
this
they're
is the
gonna-
best day ever.
Play on that for rare days. They're gonna still play on that.
I mean, we were just accosted by some, made up princess, but this bunny's having a high today.
But he's having a red letter day.
Talking rabbits. They are. Well, I mean, talking rabbit, they talked in their own language. That wasn't any language.
I'll be talking about it.
Well, it did, but probably different.
Right.
They would say words like prayer, and they would call themselves the Elhel prayer law. There was one named Faru, Hazel, Claylee, Blackberry.
Ted.
Cletus.
Cletus. The
He's
fey
a
rabbit named
Oh, it's the
Cletus.
official title.
He's like, howdy, 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 y'all. He doesn't have a bunny sack, he has little bunny overalls. He's like, howdy, Scotty. What are you doing? Hey, Cletus, crazy, going to come at you.
So, yeah, I thought it's a bunch.
Okay.
So the young lady walked on, and then appeared to start floating. And then turned into a darkness and,
Evanescence.
yeah.
Wake me up,
So again.
I can't wake up.
wake me up inside.
Not known.
How
for
did you
it.
find your way to my courts?
That sounds like that's paid, because it's not known for its delicious meat.
Well, I mean, there's definitely some qualities about this being that, like ring the vampire bell, right? Like there's, like you're going through the list, you're like, I got an undead pig, check. Serious mental and magic power rendering us unconscious, check. Seem to take a gaseous form and float away, check. What doesn't fit that mold is the fact that you know that when you got the undead thing, you also got it was like either undead flavored fae or fae flavored undead.
Well, I mean, I didn't say that part specifically, I said on that.
Right, but you've encountered,
Well, right,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I'm not sold on vampire, I am sold on that.
Oh, definitely, like almost undoubtedly.
I want to treat
Um,
it.
Yeah, I'm not keen on eating bacon.
I'm sure you don't invite him into your house. Sandalphon? Sandalphon.
Sorry?
Sandalphon. Mhm. So if you recount, the only thing that you really don't remember clearly, is what she whispered,
Yeah.
after she introduced herself.
Mhm.
But you remember her appearance, you remember her scent, you remember her mannerisms and her thermobaric properties.
She was giving off absolutely no body heat. She had little pointy teeth out there.
All right.
And very pale, red eyes. Did absolutely no idea what personal space was, or did and doesn't like it.
She's saying,
She definitely did. She introduced herself and then said other words.
are you sharing those other words?
Yes. I don't know what they are.
Do you not remember them, or did you not understand?
I don't remember. Like, I don't remember what happened after I woke up, or during when I woke up attached to a sacrificial thingy majigger. I don't know if this is a me problem or just the things that do things to me problem.
Sandalphon.
Yeah.
You have definitely had your share of cult fuckery.
Yeah.
And you know, like, this is very different from that because your memory isn't blank.
Mm.
And it's not that you don't remember her whispering something to you.
Mhm.
You just can't, you can't quite remember what she said.
I definitely know she said something to me. It's just I don't know what it was. And I believe it was a language that I understood.
She probably did something to you. No. So potentially you have an enchantment on you. I can check when we get maybe to East Haven and maybe dispel it. That might allow you to remember it again. But out here it's not conducive. You don't seem to be any more whatsoever. So I guess we move on.
Very good.
Yeah.
If you want Sandalphon, do you want to
I
try to hunt this thing down, or you just want to get that?
I don't want to engage with something that just could go, no one can move anymore.
Can I do like an Arcana check to try to figure out what that was that happened? Like,
Sure. You could even get, you could probably get, the other, magic user in the party to,
yeah,
maybe y'all could put your heads together.
Croesus wants to talk about what the hell just happened and what that was.
So yeah, I'll go over everything I remember, and I was awake most of it until she moved up on them, and we all kind of collapsed. But I was paralyzed while, so I'll give you a full description of what I saw.
That's way more than what
Ooh,
Croesus
ooh,
said.
ooh. You give me an Arcana check. And
Perhaps.
add like 5 to it.
Over my
Were
normal
you
bonus.
Of your
conscious?
normal bonus.
Yes. Observant. If you can see a creature's mouth while it's speaking the
28.
language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips.
Ah! I know what that bitch said.
If she could see her
Yes.
lips
Can I-
while she was talking, she could say.
Hmm?
So observe it. If you can see a creature's mouth while it is speaking the language you understand, you can interpret what it is saying by reading its lips.
Very good.
Yes. That is
I knew
something-
that feat was gonna come in goddamn handy.
So
I had it on
so
another
let me-
check,
What
but I forgot
what
that.
did you get? You have 28 again?
8.
Okay. You were like, you know yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
You know that you recognize when someone is spellcasting, right? There's that little
It's a claw,
pull
yeah.
on the weave. There's that kind of almost that rushing in your ears. There's any number of effects.
Yeah.
You were conscious. You were close enough that if you had been able to cast counterspell, you would have been able to cast counterspell. If it were a spell, definitely not a spell.
Got it. Okay.
What languages do you speak?
Well, I speak Common, Dwarvish, and Gnomish.
I speak Celestial, Sylvan, Elvish, and Common.
You definitely saw her lips moving. And there was something. As she was speaking, there was
there was a little glimmer in her eyes, but not like magical, but not magical. You magic buggers give me Arcana checks again? Or, I don't know, engineering or 17.
11. Arcana's not a skill I'm very good at.
Where you going, Tinker?
I'm a charisma based spellcaster.
I'm gonna get more cake.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you should make an Arcana check.
Okay,
Yeah, you should. What kid, 17?
oh wait, I'm at a plus
Yeah.
4.
I
Oh
have
shit, I pushed the button. 13,
I have a +0 to my Arcana skill.
Okay.
14.
So you three talk about it a little bit. You talk about what you saw. You talk about being unconscious and missing this and think about how cool it must have been. And you kind of question Sandalphon a little bit, and you should come to the conclusion that what she did wasn't arcane or divine magic. You, between the two of you, you're kind of like, you have, you being a trained arcanist.
Yes.
There has been a theory. You, all about the theories, and you guys like kind of get excited about this a little bit. You heard a theory that there are some creatures
Baby bunnies.
that either are born with or somehow develop mental powers that are similar to how a monk manipulates ki.
Okay.
For a lack of a better term, we'll call them psionics.
Okay.
And so this seems to have been probably a psionic a mental attack or something. But the issue is non-magic.
All right. If I am not able, here's a fun thing. If I don't speak the language for which her lips move, can I attempt to replicate?
The pronunciation or speech.
So if anyone else speaks the language, it might be chopped, it might be horrible.
Give me a performance check.
Oh.
Yeah. I will comprehend languages.
Key in mind would help, but yeah, chop would be good. I would be like,
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Great, here we go.
I'm ready.
-1. I got a 6.
Oh,
I just went
one.
apple bleeding globbing globing.
Oh, I know that song.
Yes. And then you're
There's a
pretty
bathroom
sure
on
she
the
said,
right.
rise up, gather round, and rock this place to the ground.
There you go.
Yeah. And then Sandalphon said, yeah, burn it up, let's go for broke.
Yeah.
What's the night go up?
Well, that doesn't make any contextual sense.
Right, so.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
What are we rocking to the ground?
So you're like. I will give you this simply because you do have a feat that lets you do it. You aren't certain. You know, like language, no matter what language it is,
Mhm.
there are visual and like nonverbal cues.
Mhm.
It is very much. It's gonna sound way worse than it is. Very much like a lover asking their lover to do a favor for them.
Got it. I would be like, I don't
Cage Sandalphon.
I don't do very well on social cues, but I feel like she was asking you for a favor, like she like knew you.
I don't know her.
But do you know her?
Like in a biblical sense.
I don't pick up on social cues well, but it's like that she was more familiar with her than I am with you.
I've never met this person before.
Well, then I would feel violated if I were you. That's how I always feel. I'm so sorry. I don't like that. All language has social cues. I'm like, fuck, tax doesn't know social cues for shit.
So the
math
kind of
has
sad
social
thing
cues?
is, the sad thing is,
Python.
the fact that it wound up being Sandalphon, surely based on that, Charles.
Oh.
Because I
Surely
will
based
the
on that,
lowest.
Charles. Like, it was like whoever failed the hardest.
Oh.
So. Anyways, you guys gonna, y'all can trudge and talk, right?
Yeah.
So you trudge and talk through the snow, you make it back to
Make it back.
East Haven, good flavor. Anyway, you make it back into town. You, come around the lake. You do notice that, and as you're kind of walking by the shoreline, you kind of walk by the docks and you notice that someone's like cleaned up the ferry, kind of maybe like putting some effort into making it less like a crime scene and, you know, more like a boat. And
It's a shame. I wanted to use that wood for our caravan.
what now?
I wanted to use that wood for the caravan. If it belongs to no one and we killed the people that was in it.
Oh, no, the boat definitely belongs to someone. However, I mean, no, it like, even in the boat, there's like, yes, it's the owner of the boat.
Okay.
But,
They don't have to
you manage to kind of wind your way and you find yourself at the warm, welcoming entrance of the White Lady.
Hey, on the walk between the docks and the White Lady, I'm gonna cast locate object, and I'm looking for that black stone, the children or whatever it is.
Chardalin,
Chardon.
from where?
I'm just 1,000-foot ping.
I don't know that it can do a general thing, like you're just like going like, show me the Chardalin.
They can.
Oh, it can?
Yeah.
And so you can think of a specific object
Uh-huh,
and get that. to
or a
ping,
class of
or a
objects.
Type of object that will ping the close. It won't ping all, so there's like
Oh,
8
You have some in
Chardons,
your-
You don't get 8. You just get whichever one's close.
so if I'm carrying one, that's the other one I'm gonna get ping.
Oh, yeah, if you have one on you, it's a real shit stuff.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh, well, then I would just cast spell stuff.
yeah, that, you're like, hey, I wanna look for that thing.
Ping, ping.
And you were like,
Oh, yeah. Huh.
never mind. So-
It's like texting someone, where's the cell phone?
Yeah. Where's my car? Where's my car, dude? So, you have arrived back in town. Some I would say you're back in black, but none of you are dressed.
No. Gross is
So,
definitely not dressed as well.
Saturday-ish,
It's
half a day's
half
travel.
a day's travel,
Yeah.
and about noon-ish, a little before noon.
Oh,
You left at like 7.
okay. Well,
I mean, I'm not really sure how long you want to conscious. But it doesn't seem like a long time. Like you do the your tracker, you know, and you're like, no, we didn't lose any time. You have a vague racial memory of gray dudes, with big black eyes, something about butt stuff. And then you're like, nah, that didn't happen. Okay. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. So you don't think you lost any time, or if you did, it was a very short period. Matter of minutes.
right. Alright,
So, well, okay. Slight retcon. You guys got up around 7, had breakfast, made your travel arrangements, so it's 8 when you left. Half a day's travel. We're just gonna say, well, no, I said it was gonna be about 4 hours. So you make it back, you arrive in time for a nooner at the White Lake.
Cool.
it's actually Oh, yeah, I didn't give the party good this
You
morning.
did not.
But it's okay, we have soup.
We can make
Well,
soup.
yeah, we have soup, we have like, still like 200 pounds of board on here, we're good. Oh, no, we still have 330.
I don't know where you're putting it.
Well, I assume, but I mean, we kept the rooms, I assume actually most of it is in the room. Oh, no, it's on the boat. Oh, my God, it's on the boat that they put up.
What happened? What's on the boat?
Yeah.
Most of the
Oh.
Airbnb.
So, you can,
I'm
you
not
can,
glad about that.
yeah, you can, you can mark that off the old, inventory.
We left.
You also, as you put those two and two things together, you're like, not wanted for murder. Yeah. Not wanted for cannibalism.
But they're
Do I
drunk.
care?
Well,
Can't
yeah,
prove it
'cause
was me.
It was obviously like, it was dressed, like.
Yeah.
It was. dressed.
Yeah, it was,
It's not like
They
we just
found
left the
Dahmer's
corpses.
refrigerator with no Dahmer.
yeah.
That's when
So,
I started saying,
Okay, so-
spreading the story of it was so scary. Did you hear about the ferry where they killed each other for their own meat?
Right.
Those
They,
cannibalistic trade.
they were ice locked
Mhm.
and they were trapped.
So-
And not only did they have to kill each other, but they also conveniently dressed each other up.
And saved it for later. 'Cause
Yeah,
They're,
yeah. They're efficient cannibals.
there is going to be a rumor about Wagar doing such things.
So
Oh, yeah.
what,
Yeah, I'll
So
knock off all the
perhaps-
30 pounds of it.
right, so, you what?
I knocked off all the 30 pounds of it.
That's probably good. Sistin, you kind of, you pick up on this and you're like, perhaps tonight I should sing some songs about the bloodthirsty Duergar and
Totally on the
They're-
playlist tonight.
their insatiable lust for the flesh of their own kind.
They're a man eater.
Yeah, that is going in on it.
Well,
I do want to hear the ghost stories.
Duergar eater, dwarf eater, better than dwarf also. All right, so you've arrived, you're at the White Lady. Kind of standing there, you're like, what else should we do? So, immediate concern is maybe talking to, the captain of the guard and letting him know. that, turning over an assortment of leg bones, something like, I don't know, we found all these. You did find some scratches.
We got close.
Yeah,
That
we
was-
just
that was, yeah, we're gonna talk to the guard, we're gonna get our just reward.
No, you will never get the best reward, but.
And we will, the entire time I'm talking to the guard, I will be distracting, composing my song that I will play as a encore assistant song. Well, of course, we're gonna eat each other, they're delicious.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Okay, so,
But he's going to sing it in giant.
I can't tell, is this a horror genre or is this an erotic genre?
Oh, I love the fact that it's in giant because Varuk would just laugh and be like, yeah.
oh boy.
But see, the problem is the tune's probably catchy, so everyone else enjoys it, not knowing what it is.
Yeah.
Just like that, everyone's
Other sense should be.
Yeah, whatever
everyone's
that
going around
means.
singing the La Bamba of giant.
And I'm just jealous that they like his song better than my song.
Well, so.
Although I am proficient. I actually do play it.
I mean, you also did find their belt and
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you, going back through your notes, you're like, who was that known woman? And you're like, Indra Arlaga. Captain of the East Haven Militia.
Oh, it's delicious, right?
Well,
So do you wish to track her down?
Yeah.
Sure. Survival check?
Yeah, give me a spell check.
That was just a tracking. Check. It's not actually flexible, that was survival check. Now, although I guess I can. Well, town wouldn't be my favorite. So that should be a single level. Okay, you're gonna give me a survival check. I'm gonna give you a 26.
Conveniently, it looks like she's into the White Lady as well, and it is pretty much approaching lunchtime. So it looks like maybe she's coming to the White Lady for some lunch, some sort of food. Now, I have to ask, where's the cult?
Farouk's backpack, I think.
Backpack?
No, it's not gonna fit in anyone's back.
No. Like, he is wearing it as a like.
Is
Because
this
he
like
was
hanging
supposed
off
to
of
be
one of the
carrying-
antler heads, horns?
Like we would have
Well,
affixed
okay,
straps to it.
Even though I can't believe I'm gonna let anyone else go negotiate our reward, we could probably all fuck it up. I will, I don't sleep in the ground, I sleep in the stables, so, I'll take the call to the stables in the noodle, hang out there. And I'll, I'll, cover it up, I mean, not covered up the cell and leave it, but like, just to.
Right, but where is it physically? Right? Like, is it a, huh?
By the statements. With me and who, I'm using it, actually, I covered it.
Okay. Sleeping in the stables, like, that's not like your hotel room. It's just where you sleep. So it's not like a private area?
He's staying with us. He's not leaving.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Oh.
That's what he was
okay,
saying. He was
okay,
going to let us
Yeah.
negotiate.
Okay, so you're gonna like, hey, there's one we're supposed to talk to. Y'all go deal with that. I gotta see him out about a horse.
Yeah.
And you and Baruch. You're like, what's going on? And he's like, all right. And you're like, let's play hide the cauldron. And Baruch's like, okay. So, yeah.
And, I'm sure Ruth could like stare intimidatingly and
Oh.
pacify
He is.
to keep them from looking at what I'm doing while I'm covering the snow, and then I'm just gonna sit on it. And,
Who can hatch it like a lady?
Yeah, who's gonna sit in front of it? It's gonna look like you're like.
I'm just gonna sit on it and.
Or you could put food on top of it. Little like food just trying to catch him out there.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, I'm gonna.
So,
I'm gonna
all right,
sit
some of
on
my
it.
so
company
you
hours
two,
already,
you should go off and do
Play
that.
the loop.
Yeah.
And I play the loop pretty damn well, that is for the Farouk and Hoot that are there, that is actually a
See?
21.
You're rehearsing your
Oh,
giant
he's
versions
absolutely-
right
he's-
now. You're like getting
Oh, he's
ready.
getting warmed up. This is like the thick of destiny.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
that I'm
you
gonna
should
be
get ready
able
for
to
it.
do that.
So what do you guys do? As you're kind of getting up there, Rod and Baruch kind of have a little giant talk nonsense. And then they kind of like, and so they kind of shuffle the intensely powerful
Looking it up.
magic item
It's completely free.
off
Well,
to
there's a two.
what you assume is the stable. And you're thinking that there's no room at the end, so they're gonna hide the sort of Icewind Dale equivalent of a super weapon in a stable. You feel good about this. You feel super good. You're like, there's absolutely nothing.
Look drastically different than any of the calls.
It has a bias relief all around it of satyrs and nymphs, like making stew and having stew times.
All right.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's cauldrons around Icewind Dale are generally
computer,
Cold
standard year
iron.
one.
You know, like cold, like the irony that you could pound into a bowl shape and then put it in the fire or put it over a fire.
Yeah.
So they're not normally decorative, is what I'm trying to say. Except unless you consider soot to be a decorative.
No. But I was also thinking, if I followed them into there, I could possibly hide out there a minor illusion for at least an hour.
Yeah, you definitely. could.
Rod pointed to a woman and said,
Oh, it's great.
go negotiate with her. Tax feels as if he was speaking directly to her because she has been apprenticing him.
Oh,
in his
you
tagging.
absolutely clocked that. You're like, he has, you've been waiting for this moment for weeks. You've been waiting for the light to shine upon you and for this opportunity for you to show what you have learned. And you see Captain Imra walk into the White Lady.
I get off of my steel defender because
Oh.
I'm walking up to her
Okay,
and I'm putting the clothes over my steel defender for the proof. Just walking in, swagger.
swagger. So you're not taking the clothes of you.
Oh no, the steel defender's coming in with me. I'm just not riding my steel defender.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, still good. About the size of food, right?
Yeah.
It's a medium creature.
Yeah, that's neat, Richard. Good right through the door. So you,
You know what? I will have them on display and then I'll stop and go, no. Tap up front and I fold all the clothes back up and I put them in my bag.
And,
We already did, yeah.
we did, well, we did, and so I'm going to shadow, I can see that there is no swaying tax from this focus that
Oh.
tax has gotten.
you know, Sistin, you have been with Tax for a while, and you know that Tax has many endearing qualities. Tight laser beam focus on a single task is not one of those qualities. So you are both intrigued and maybe a little terrified, but also super curious to see how this plays out. But you do follow her. What are the rest of you doing? You went to the stable? You followed them in the stable? Dalen?
Oh, no, I won't.
Are you, yeah, you going in with them? Sandalphon? Iggy? Francis? What are y'all doing?
I have been updating notes. I will be going inside. You want to do a seance, correct?
Oh, I'd like to know more about that ghost story. That sounded fascinating.
I love hearing good stories about things that happen to people that aren't me.
Especially with what we saw out of them.
What we saw out in the tundra today.
Or the lake, the frozen lake. Sure, could have been a ghost.
I mean, I don't know how much you know about ghosts, but Sandalphon did indicate a physical touch. Like right here.
Mhm.
Like here. So sadness. Maybe she's just sad. That's probably it. She's
No
just-
sad, only anger.
Yeah, well, okay, Sandalphon. Like, I'm almost tempted to give you a free rage. It's like, no, I just want rage, just like all that.
Always.
So,
That's my secret. I'm always.
that's right. Well, you weren't. And then you met the god. Anyways, so Tax, you know, please describe to me Tax's confident, triumphant return to the White Lady.
So she comes in, boom, 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 looks upon her steel defender in the reflection, streams her little piggy tails, takes off and stuff. Okay. stands a little taller,
Right, right.
and then swaggers up. Doesn't walk up determinedly. She's lackadaisical about it because she's got the goods.
Casual.
Casual even. So,
Give me a, just give me a little performance.
this is gonna be horrible. It's gonna be great.
No, it's just give me a little performance check.
That's a 12 minus 1, right? No, wait. Yep. 12, 11.
So that's average. So to everyone else, they're looking on and they're like, what's she doing? But you in Taxlandia,
Mhm.
you are the queen surveying her domain. You walk in and you're like, you can hear the voice of your dad like in the back of your head going like, I'm so proud of you. You're so awesome and amazing. You're my favorite daughter. You're just, you're not really hearing it, but like you're hearing it. Yeah, you totally are. And you see, she kind of turns around and looks at you and she's like, oh, I don't remember what it was I used for.
This was perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I see that you have returned. And rather quickly. Did you find our missing Fisher Hawk?
Yes, and I'm just waiting for tax to handle this, but I am right there.
I've asked the one of our people to like popcorn.
There absolutely is.
Okay.
Even
Groceries
though,
is very niche as
even
well.
though the availability of corn in this area is
Yeah.
virtually none,
Yeah.
there's like a bag that says for plot purposes.
Yeah.
and you're like,
All right, so
so-
I'm ready to back up.
you are ready to go.
Yeah.
Tax, he has.
Ice cream. Just put it away.
Yeah, it's probably time. There's more of it, please do.
Really?
Yeah.
Make it cold and I'll take some jam. Shit.
Hell yeah.
She will. I would eat more of it too, but it's not water.
Oh, yeah,
There's
busy water and straight water.
Straight up water.
All right.
Like
The hard stuff.
Any ice or just?
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, yeah, come on.
No, I don't want to go.
Tax, please. How will you respond to the captain's question?
Of course, we're back quickly. We were with Broad. When you need someone to track something, that's who you hire.
She kind of thinks back a little bit. You can see like, you are very observant. You're not sure what one arched eyebrow, one eye kind of looking up. Kind of like maybe she's trying to access a visual memory. Maybe she's trying to figure out who Broad is. She doesn't react violently or negatively. She just says, right. Okay. So do you have any results to report?
I believe there was, and Tax would give the most specific details remaining of the deal in place.
Huh?
So, does anyone remember how much we were promised? Wasn't it 75? Anybody write that one down?
I don't think I did.
Well, probably the most valuable part of the things that were offered is access to a source of
200
peace.
gold and promised a scroll of fireball.
That's it.
There we go. I believe.
So did we get the 100 up front, or did we get 200 up front and 200 remaining?
you got the 100 up front, if I
Okay.
remember correctly, so you got 100 on the way, and someone here gets fireball.
I will say with, like, I believe if I remember the deal correctly, and I know I do, you owe us 100 gold and a scroll. And I would like to see that before I provide evidence of what we found, which is precisely what you asked us to find.
Give me persuade.
I am going to, in this new chapter.
I got a
Hold on,
solid.
Hold on, no, okay. What did I say? So you're getting guidance on this. You have an extra D4.
Don't waste that.
It's a cantrip. There's no
Oh.
worries.
Cool. We got a
That's why-
max
that's why
of an
you get
8 coming up.
That's okay. It's better than a 4.
I got a 7. I got a solid 7.
I told you it was
Amazing.
better.
I mean, you
Yeah.
got this. I'm not going to assist. I'm just going to sit and watch.
Mhm,
Is
mhm.
the most,
She looks
probably the
at
most
you,
persuasive
it's
person
kind
in
of-
the party.
You can, again, you're very observant, and you can see the point where the gears grind to a halt in her thought process, like, what did this little bitch just say to me? And she didn't say that. You imagine her saying that. You know, like, you've had that look on your face. You know what that look looks like when somebody has said something to you that's so outrageous that it literally stops and they're just like, what? And she looks at you and says, fellas, right?
Yes.
You've already received half the payments,
Mhm.
which I normally would not do. But
But you were
I
paying
did
for
that.
the best.
I took it on good faith. That's what would happen. Now, present your evidence before I have you charged with fraud.
And I cast suggestion. Which is a wisdom saving throw of 15. And say. It's been a very trying, a very trying day, and we all want the best outcome from this.
We're casting suggestion.
Can we sit
Of the
down
person.
so we can show you what we found? Okay.
The
And-
keeper said,
and-
present
Hold on,
evidence
hold on,
before I have you
hold on,
charged
hold on,
with fraud. And so now she's casting suggestion.
Son of a bitch.
With favorable outcome for all.
Mystic Valley.
So I suggest that we
So-
sit down.
Do me a favor,
Uh-huh.
read the text or suggestion. Tell me what the components are
Honey,
and tell me if everyone else in the bar is going to realize that you just used magic on the captain of the militia.
you suggest, there is a material component and a vocal component,
Uh-huh.
but but it's honey.
Uh-huh.
So it is
Uh.
honeycomb. You suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two, and magically influence a creature you can see within range, that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be charmed or are immune to this effect. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to stab itself, obviously, or a harmful act, it ends the spell. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action you described to the best of its ability. The suggested course of action may continue for the entire duration, which is 8 hours. Um,
Is this a single person
uh,
and you did this to the captain?
I did this to the captain.
And I,
One
and I-
action,
and I
30 years.
I just want to take a little tiny pause. And so that we're clear that the captain was not making an unreasonable request.
I didn't say the captain was making an unreasonable
Okay.
request.
Because-
I want Tax to feel like she has done an awesome
Tax is being
job.
There we
supported
go.
by her party.
And so
That's
I am like,
because-
I am not doing this to get an outcome. I'm doing this to
Because,
help.
because Tax walked in
Oh, yes.
and kind of like flopped her dick out and laid it on the bar.
Mhm.
And was just like, and we got it, and I'm an asshole, and you're gonna show me the money before I actually provide proof that I've completed the task we were hired to do.
I am representing Broad to the best of my ability.
Okay,
Absolutely.
to be fair, that is 100% true.
Yeah.
I got
So-
big Broad energy right now.
So
This is a spell that I
Big
don't usually
broad
want
energy.
people to know I'm casting when I'm casting. So I imagine this is not the type of spell where it's like super obvious,
well,
but it is.
I mean, there's a reason why there is a sorcerer meta magic called
Yeah. A
subtle spell.
subtle spell, yeah.
But I have to some suggestion, being just a verbal component, honey, is by default.
I'm going to-
subtle.
I just wanted to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sure that it didn't specify.
Yeah.
And I'm
Something.
not
Because-
asking
Right,
like the
because,
moon.
because what you're asking, what the suggestion is, the verbal component, you're like rubbing the honeycomb or, you've got your, you have an art earphones?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. You have an,
CROSIS.
you're kind of doing this, but the magic is, there's not an incantation.
Yeah.
Your will, connection, you are. Give it to me visually.
So if you could see the words being kind of woven into, kind of pushing this person into a very, very subtle, like we're going to have a good outcome for our discussion. Let's sit down and talk about it. Let us show you what we found.
And to your vision, as she fails the saving throw, you see the words kind of fade in through her clothing, and you, not physically, but as though her essence pulls in your direction. And she says, okay. Perhaps I was a little impressed. She said, spell attacks. It is customary that you present your evidence for the completed job to receive the balance of payment. Is that reasonable?
Since we got half up front, I think that's reasonable.
And you can tell that she is now in conflict because she's like, and she'll like say it to you. Like, but if we show her the evidence, then she has the evidence. Then she has no reason to pay us.
I am sure that she wants this outcome to be best for Paul. Parties. And like, that's exactly what I said before, and it's almost like, it's like,
insight. Give me an insight check
Also, not the best.
with advantage in this particular case.
Okay. That's a 19 flat, 19 and a 0.
Incredible. So you recognize a tiny little quirk of Sistin's expression that you pick up on is her way of saying, you got this, it's gonna be good. You are knocking it out of the park. Like,
and you kind of glance over to the captain, and her expression is softened. She's not confrontational. So you're pretty confident. I mean, this woman is the captain of the city militia. She publicly made a contract. She's not gonna welch on it. That would be, she's also just mechanically speaking, awful good. So she's not gonna fail on pay.
Tax is going to look at her closely and be like, how do you feel about animals? Like wolves and buttons and birds.
I'm not proud to be.
She's gonna say,
I've done the best I can.
she goes, wolves are, I mean, wolves are powerful and they make for life, they do packs, they're intelligent. They do make some noise and they scare some people. Birds, depending on the bird, some of them are inspirational, most of them are tasty. Bunnies are cute. And if you cook them right, they're also tasty.
You gotta be careful to make sure you have sort of fat with them, because otherwise you'll die of malnutrition.
Would you like hot leaf water or hot bean water or a beer? I would happily buy you a drink and we can sit down and do business.
Well, I came here for hot bean water. So, and then she pauses and realizes she just repeated back to you, hot bean water. She's like, what the fuck is hot bean water? And then she's like, oh, coffee, yes. And she goes, please, can you just, and she goes, I'm assuming since you're not bringing people in and there aren't like happy, cheerful reunions taking place, that you do not find them alive.
Oh, that is correct.
Oh.
They were not alive. They were very not alive.
Okay, they were
Would you like
unalive.
to know how not alive they are? I can tell you in detail what happened.
I think that's all.
You
I
know,
can do.
maybe
I-
privately, when we're not
Yeah.
around people who are eating, but did you find clothes or some kind of physical?
Oh, absolutely. Let's sit down for hot bean water and I will show you.
Oh, okay, so she,
I will get drinks.
Pass the
I'm
broad
like,
test.
okay. I get drinks and bring them over and I just say, we're so deeply sorry. It seems that the delay in getting to them initially may have caused them harm, but perhaps not. There was don't know if you've heard of frost giant skeletons inhabiting certain caves in the region at the end of the lake.
And Tax will bring out her book and go, shh. This is one of the skeletons and here's a shard of his bone and he stood about this feet tall and like.
But they were found near the cave of
You
the
like-
frost giant.
you can see her eyes like visibly lighten. Do you mean out by the moaning caves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the-
Where the harpies were nearby.
There's.
Here are their melted flesh, and then there's a hair
My
sample.
grandmother lives down there in a cave with her cauldron.
To show you guys know, there are mentions that have coming out of my mouth. What?
You look around and you notice everyone's eating stew.
Door flies open, Dana's running out.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning anything about the hag. It is
Right, so she's
phosphorus
like,
skeletons,
she's like,
harpies.
so did you find their boat?
Yes, you did, right?
You did.
You did find their boat, yeah.
A bunch of knuckleheads.
Bunch of neck knuckleheads.
Yeah, and it was near the, she goes, so it was near the.
The moaning cave. Yes, do you know why? And then Tax will bring up her sketch of the moaning caves and explain the wind and the echo.
And several of our party you saw went off to rest that they were nearly killed by the frost giant skeleton. But we felt that it was important to bring them back and wanted to have whatever rights are with your people for them. I said a blessing over them that not would encroach on their beliefs, but would just check their memories and think of them and the knowledge that was gone with them. And I'm so terribly sorry.
Also, the paint.
Love this.
Big broad energy.
You know, she was just about to have a heartfelt emotional moment. And you just ruined it.
Which is exactly what we should do in a broad
That is
negotiation.
the side like that
But,
on brand.
yeah, 100% on brand. Rod, you don't know why, but in this moment, you feel a ray of light shine upon you. And you feel a disturbance in the asshole force and you smile, knowing that somewhere, someone's being an asshole and you are proud of their work.
In his name.
In his name,
As a representative.
right, as a representative of Broad Yaga Incorporated. So
That is undoubtedly what inspired that performance check.
that is, yes, so, she's like, okay, hold that thought, and then she looks back at you, Sistin, and she says, that was very kind. And I appreciate that. Let me go get the balance of payments, and then I will send runners to the family members so they can, I mean, even though it's not, even though
It's not the outcome that we wanted. And I'm so sorry if there's anything I can do to speak with them. Perhaps I shouldn't speak with them. If they want more information, I can provide a little bit.
I'm not very good at psychology. I'm good at business.
So she looks at you, she looks at tax, she looks at the other two, she looks at you, and she kind of doing the math. She looks at Iggy and she's like, and she goes, I will let them know if they feel the need, if they want to talk, or if they want details. I figure they'll be kind of self-evident from.
It was not.
Violence.
She goes, well, speaking of,
We're the greatest. Yes, we are.
right, speaking of vile and not prison. Do you know anything about what happened at the ferry where you guys left? You guys went out to the
I
ferry?
saw 2 cats there. Oh my god.
At this point, Galen turns and he's just really setting his drink.
We did hear that there were Rhaegar there. Have you encountered Rhaegar before?
Rumors.
You know that they can
Tax.
change their shape and become embiggened, but it keeps a ferocious appetite.
That embiggened is the ability to embiggen is one of the most vile, unholy abominations that that a person can do. Luckily, wears off when they die. But
And in
and
tax.
so she kind of
I
looks,
said, we've encountered Rhaegar before.
and so
at
she kind of
Fortune.
looks over at
Taxes
Iggy.
has her book and then
Yeah,
do the embiggen.
I'm gonna need you to give me a deception check. Just like,
I would like to aid in that deception check.
yeah. Rod, if you were there, I don't know that you'd be able to make it. You still reek of the blood of dwarves.
Yeah.
I am aiding in a deception check.
All right, then
Flat out
do that,
deception.
do that deception with advantage over there.
All right.
Yep.
I
Huh?
will say,
Let's see it.
if we end up fighting in the dark, somebody should enlarge her, because apparently she thinks the drug is said, and she'll probably just kill herself.
I mean, she did mention that it wears off when you die. What do we got?
A 10.
That is. Did you add a D4 to that?
Oh, a D plus a D4?
Yeah.
You're being guided
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, let me do that.
So you get a 14. Well, maybe you get a 14.
A 12.
Good 12. You know, fortunately for you, you're at the age of maturity where if you want to have a poker face, you can absolutely have a poker face. So you're lizard folk, and not many people know how to read lizard folk. Fortunately, Imran doesn't seem like one of those people. And she goes, "Huh, okay." She looks, she goes, "You know, on that ferry, we found something chilling. Found what looked to be snow." And she like kind of pauses, she's like, "It looks like we found remains of humanoids, approximately where our size, but like field dress to be cooked with."
That's horrible. And that's true. I do think that's horrible.
Like,
I mean, there's no
That seems quite
deception.
disturbing.
There's,
Did you
and-
have anyone take a drawing, a sketch? May I sketch it? Because I would like to know in the future what it looks like so I can report any future findings.
and I just say,
Oh, boy.
she's always, I will say that we encountered a Dwagar fortress and I described very loosely where it was. And they put traps within it that were ghastly and of their own. Left them.
you. They can eat their own. Like animals.
Wouldn't put. So they, I don't imagine they would talk of such things if they did. That would be horrid.
Well, clearly,
I
it's
mean-
even worse than animals because they do it with intent, as evidenced by the field dressing.
You know, that's true. I mean, to like willfully and intentionally consume the flesh of another sentient being.
I
That's-
can't stomach it.
she
I'm
goes,
feeling
"That's
ill.
just-
I might have to go
I
to
don't-
my
I don't
room
know
with
what
Tag.
kind of- I don't know what kind of monster could do
Tax
that.
is like almost laughing. She's just like, oh, this is part of a play. Oh shit! Oh shit!
I'm like, oh,
We have to go down.
I'm just like,
Please give me a performance. Yeah, please give me a performance check with the day.
Tax is just like, oh god, don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
oh, a natural 20.
No. So she's like, she goes, I have to talk to the speaker. Oh, I didn't even think about it. Or I did, but
If you see any Dwagar, they should be driven out.
you
You
should
just don't.
check them for knives and forks.
Oh,
Ugh. She goes, is it true that?
Yes. And then Tax turns the page to how she was able to track an invisible Dwergar with no location, just how she was able to do it.
There's so many there, notes.
I'm just gonna say.
I'm like, I'm so, no, I'm so like,
Hold on.
I'm desperate for
I
that
want
to
you to
not
roll
come
a
up.
D20 for me. Just roll a D20.
Cause I'm
Tell me
like,
what you
I'm
get.
like, I am ready to distract or put something.
And
up
then
or-
18.
That is an 18. So as you're going to flip the pages, you realize that on one of those pages is like a butcher's drawing of a Dwergar with like loin, like little sections drawn out, like little lines drawn, and like, like index numbers for where you can find samples of their different organs and muscles and flesh in your sample kit. And you're like, let me just
Yeah, instead of going like this, I go like this.
Right.
Oh, this is so awful. I kind of make it more dramatic.
Yeah.
Cause that is exactly what I was like, don't.
No more.
With Dragar, as evident by this conversation being up here on the worst of local.
Very
scum,
bad.
scum. One, local townspeople may celebrate in terms of wealth giving for those who may slay such vile
We
things.
had, we took those carcasses, burned them, and we're just vile.
Can I talk to you about the waste of resources in your community? You could have sunk them. You could have used them for.
No, you cannot. And she says, I'm going to go, and then she kind of motions to somebody to walk in the door, one of her aides, and drops the sack in front of you. Let it go pieces. You can count if you wish. And
Oh, I just handed the tax.
and so she did have the conversation with you. And
I believe a scroll is in order.
she
Yeah.
holds up a scroll case. She says, I believe this is for you. She hands it.
And after the money is done, I'm like, here. I don't really care about money. But I know Broad Yaga does, but it's there.
Glance at the scroll. Sorry, I wave my ears as I'm reading it. Yeah, right.
I need to make sure it's genuine.
So from the diagram at the top, it's either fireball or meteor swarm. You're not sure. which.
okay, cool.
Right, but it's just a big ball moving across the thing, like, huh. What is this? Like,
Longer than a third level, whatever.
Right, yeah. Fold, unfold, unfold.
So. Is anyone else curious how the captain of the guard is so familiar with what Wergar meat looks like? Because field dress meat.
He
they're
said
like
humanoid.
most
She
But
said
yeah.
humanoid and about the size
I
of
don't think
Wergar.
most people would be able to recognize field dress meat as coming from a humanoid as opposed to something
I'm
else.
told it's more like sport.
Then maybe it was Vince.
It could have been.
I don't think the typical person can just look at dressed meat specifically, like it's butchered, it's not like there's, well, we do keep the organs, so yeah, okay, from the organ size, they
There's
might
that
be able to figure it
Special
out.
gland that the worker had to make stuff go invisible, so they're pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
Ways.
That's the one he's been giving to everyone. And he hasn't been giving actual flesh. He's been
So,
giving like the sweetbreads
I
and the
think what
liver.
we should propose to these people to celebrate the occasion of getting rid of these nasty animals.
We're not
from
eating
their
them.
midst, is we should throw a barbecue.
I know.
Oh,
You don't get to cook on the soup pot and add things in.
See, you're trying to feed people Dragar meat. I'm trying to,
you're
sneak
trying
into
to
co-
atone and you're trying to wipe that pain from your soul.
I'm trying to like organize some bounties for some more Dragar,
Uh-huh.
Right.
gold piece
So-
ahead or something.
Okay, so anyway, the captain, she's kind of like, I gotta go talk to the speaker about this. You are, of course, welcome to, stay here and do.
I think I have one more question for you, if you don't mind. I know, well, earlier there was a wizard that had been captured and punished for destroying those adventures. Do you have any gear on them that I might be able to look at as the virtuals? I'm looking primarily for obviously things that might involve plus pieces and papers that might be worth more to me than they would just to the average shopkeep or clerk in the area. Is there, I know you also have the city office. I can get-
She said I mean, he was wearing most of what he had. He did have a small I guess, spell book, but the speaker agreed that to be auctioned off and it's already gone. But I want you to think back to the scene and know that I'm not sure about something. Real thing. You good? Here. So, you know that the Arcane Brotherhood did really have a bunch of uniform.
Yeah.
Do remember this guy was dressed in red robes?
Were they?
Would you have any idea about?
Oh, God, yeah. They're the ones there that.
They're like your more
Yeah, yeah,
so I like. You think that? I mean, it's kind of a lot of excitement, and then there's fire.
Yeah.
But you're pretty sure that guy was like, he didn't get like it's not like he had a conversation.
Yeah.
But you do remember that he was dressed in a very, Thay or Thay adjacent manner.
Okay.
So,
Hey, Jason.
she goes, I don't think he had a wooden quarterstaff. It wasn't, it was just a quarterstaff. Like I said, he had a small skull. She goes, we haven't sifted through the ashes to see if there was some sort of, maybe some sort of
Watch hidden and.
like a metallic like a symbol or something that he was wearing. But if it was gold or something, it would be yes.
It is a little.
It is.
It is a lot.
Sometime before the end of the evening, if there's a possibility, I would ask Sandalphon to walk with me, but I would test the ritual magic and walk over to that area and see if I can see anything in the ashes.
In the ashes.
Yeah.
I will ask you because I'm not 100% like super up on they magical wear. But
Yeah.
do they carry like a magical, like, I don't know, a skull that's laughing that says, I enslave the undead.
Not that I am aware.
I heart liches.
And I even assumed his focus was necessarily keep magical. That's a personal thing.
His
So,
focus is on magical.
yeah.
You think about it and you're like, it's probably not, I mean, it's a ritual, so why
Yeah.
not? You can do that. There is one event that will take place tonight. That I need to get through tonight.
Okay.
And we can kind of like, You can go to, you can talk with Sandalphon.
Yeah,
You
I'm
wish.
I mean, you can just tell me if that works or not. We don't need to.
So
Yeah.
you don't, I mean, you're aware of the magical things that, you're aware of the innate magical properties of a Sandalphon.
Yeah,
And they do not appear to have changed.
right.
I mean, unless you have suddenly developed a innate knowledge of psionics and psionic
I
space.
have very little to know. I spelled it silent L,
It's-
silent T.
Yeah, that's how I do it. Anyone else have anything they need to do
I
before
need to talk about.
you two talk?
I was 100%
talk.
going to go back out to
Okay.
Broad and give him a word for word, play by play of what has happened.
And I was going to give you feedback, and this feedback, Rod is overall thinks you did a great job, but he does have some notes.
Mhm.
If this sounds meaner than that, it's because I'm just trying to get this through this
Hurt.
quickly, rather than really fully well played out. Like, trust your reputation. There was no need to demand to see the money
Where's the ice cream cake?
before.
It's in the freezer, I can grab it.
There's no need
Oh,
to demand to see the reward before we presented it, because our reputation is such that if she stiffs us, she knows we will destroy her reputation. She wouldn't dare.
Yep,
Okay?
yep. And
And that-
taxes, notes.
Right, yes. Trust your reputation. You've earned it. Well done.
Thank you.
Where's the money? Did we split it up already, or?
I gave it to Danaway.
Okay, that's fine.
Cause
That's more Jay carrying than Rod at the moment, really.
yeah, essentially all of taxes money she gives to Danaway because she gives no fucks about money. And every once in a while she'll like be like, Danaway, give me stuff. And like give it to someone and be like, is this enough?
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I think that was the only.
Why is this shiny gold important to you? It doesn't do anything.
That was 200 gold, right?
Yep.
Well, 100 more. We
Yeah.
already got.
And I had a.
And when you get
scroll-
to talk about the meat, I'm gonna like look at my time for like.
And I have a scroll of fireball.
I do share with you, since you weren't in there, that they were really concerned about the reversing of Dwyer meat and that we had started the rumors that Dwyer might do that to themselves, but that we probably want to lay low around the town with that.
It's a very interesting taboo.
And I would have told you word for word. And then not only word for word, but with observant super details. Like,
Oh, I know.
and then her left eye twitched and she said this, but then Sistin rubbed on her what is your magic power? Is it a bracelet?
It's a bracelet.
She rubbed on her
Yeah,
bracelet,
yeah.
but I believe it had a piece of honeycomb on it. I didn't know honeycomb could freeze like that. That's an interesting. I'd love to test that. And then this happened, and then
And if Rod looks at me and I was like, she negotiated very well.
Oh, I know.
and I acted so well. You should have seen me. They were talking about the meat, and I didn't say that meat.
Well, we are outside. Okay.
And I was like, and she gets pages in her journal. where-
Oh, those pages.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you don't need to jot down everything I do.
You know, we could actually just put the word evidence on the front of that book.
There's many humans and others have a taboo against eating flesh of sentient.
But how do they know what's inside of a sentient creature if they don't cut into it and show you and do the anatomy of it? How do they know where things are? How do they know where the muscle and the sinew and everything meet? Because it would be different for a different sentient being, because I imagine that my anatomy is different than that of a Dwargar, because our muscles will be in different places, the pockets will be in different places, and then I like, we'll start sketching what it would be like to dissect the nose.
Some of them are okay, some of them are okay with the scientific study of that, or some of them are, but some of them are, but most of them are not okay with suction of sentient beings. Although, I don't know. Is it because they can talk to them? Because I can talk to rabbits. I'll leave it at
I feel like these people are a little too like flippant with the limited resources they have. If they had more resources, of course, then you could be flippant with it, but they don't have,
Yeah.
they burn things left and right. They're not good at meat. And it's not like there's a lot of hunting around here. And I mean, even the moose are sentient around this place.
that. Alright, so where do you draw the line? I draw the line. Of humans, because if I eat any of those people, I really kill.
Oh, I don't plan to eat any of it, but it just seems like a waste of natural resources.
It is.
Always political.
No, you're absolutely right.
I just want you guys to know that a lot of what I put into it, because he can speak to animals,
Mhm.
because they are sentient and which aware,
Mhm.
it's just reveling in the hypocrisy of it all.
Mhm.
Also, y'all respect.
Yes.
What hypocrisy? I.
No, not you, like on everybody else's reactions. Like, we're gonna talk to you. Okay. So, anything else you guys want to do before this evening?
Zoom, and. Boom, boom.
I've relayed everything to Rod.
Mhm.
I feel very confident in my feedback that I can improve. There was nothing, I might do before bed or before, after whatever's about to happen. At some point, I want to do the compass thing again, just to make sure that the fish is in somewhat the same spot. Or if it isn't.
It is.
I would like
Wall
to, see if the bard who is there the first night that we were there, Rolando.
Rolando is not there. The barkeep says he got a sore throat and would not be performing tonight.
All right.
Rolando sounds like a pool boy.
Yeah.
of the-
And then I would
Of the
like to,
establishment.
if things are winding down and it doesn't look like we're going to have a counters for the evening, I'd like to ask you first, my friend Rod.
Rod cursed.
Thought we cleared all the
last
curses.
time we talked,
He still had a little bit of a tendril on him. He
Oh,
wasn't
that's right.
fully cursed.
yeah, he had some. What,
Make it roll.
all right,
Make it roll.
so is it a D20?
Mhm.
Figuring.
13, I'm sorry.
I only looked at my Google results, so if you say I'm figuring something out, and it's now just like, oh.
All right, what is it? What are the results for?
How to make beef jerky without a dehydrator.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how much salt I need to buy, because I figure there's no way they can tell
You should look,
humanoid jerky.
you should look at snow preservatives.
Yeah,
Instead.
probably would be the better way.
Dwarf jerky.
Yeah, because all they're trying to tell me is like, use a dehydrator. I don't have a dehydrator.
Give the party an unlimited source of hot food. Party decides to make human jerky
So,
anyway.
okay, so, Sistin, you reach out. You enter that meditative space. You observe the tiny little tendril attached to Rajaga. And with a touch of your mind and the divine presence therein, you unravel that thread and it unravels and fades into the existence.
And then you said Poop also had tendrils. Front,
Let me look.
the exposure.
Extension. Is nine. Corruption. Who does have one?
So I think that is the last one on the roll again. And 11 on the die.
11 on the die, that's enough. Who's being corrupted? Something I have to keep track of. I don't think who will suddenly turn evil. It'd be kind of cool, but we're just not gonna go down that road. And what is that?
I will say I have a growing fondness for having each time I heal someone or spell someone, there's a connection. I see a beat going out from myself and being with the power of the goddess and going to them, but then I have a connection or a string to them.
Dude,
And so this is, I think it's like the third time I've done something to, or
It
no, it's the
is.
fourth time. I've done 3 healings in this. And so I am feeling like I have bear some responsibility for who at this point. And definitely don't want people to on. Her, sorry,
You-
her.
you are all of you. You have a natural affinity with an understanding of how the world is mended and woven and interwoven together, and for you to know and to feel and to, in a sense, be able to see these connections now woven between you and your friends is very powerful. And you kind of, as you get finished with that and you're sort of meditating on that before you go to sleep, you wonder what kind of effects that connection between you, what kind of effects that might have. Do you consider the connection to be 2 ways or 1?
That's interesting. I think that as far as the weave goes, you're connected, and so there's the whole universe and how much people could sense or be aware of it. I would consider it more honestly insignificant. My connection to me insignificant next to connection to my goddess.
Right.
And so she would be, what is it, the warp, and then we would be the weave.
Ooh, that's
And
good.
and so she's holding it together, and we are just threads in the pattern she has set. But now we are part of a pattern together. And so together we make something, and separately we use these threads. So I'm feeling our group, each time I feel a member of our group, we're becoming more connected and interwoven.
Like embroidery on the couch. I think that is a beautiful way. Very good. Anyone else? Or not, I see you're sitting in the car. With,
Do you already do the sounds?
Yeah, I guess we need
the
to,
the bar's not there.
The bard's not there.
Got it.
He's the one, Rolando the pool boy was going to do the sounds. I don't know if there's anybody down there.
what's the foot traffic down, I'll bring the park into the barn. To watch over it, all this stuff. Yeah, I'm sure we would watch this stuff.
Sure.
Watch.
So,
Oh. Sorry, does the general store have 6 pounds of salt?
you know what? We'll handle that next session.
Oh, yeah, sounds good.
Sandalphon.
Yeah.
Right as you feel the sweet release of sleep creep upon you. In your mind's eye, the last thing you see are Shaltier's eyes. And a little smirk. And you really wish you could remember what she told you. And also, you cannot wait to get your hands on this girl and fuck her up. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Alrighty.
That last part.
Yeah.
Last part.
That, it is considering what I saw.
Crucial.
Yeah,
As words
like
are.
there's a thing that kind of goes beyond brutality all the way to I'm going to hurt you and I'm going to like it. So Rod, you and Baru set up a little watch pattern. You can go first, does he go first?
I probably go first. To take advantage of what little light that might be up in the sky, because I need that light.
Yes. Take the first watch, nothing really happens. You wake him up, you go, "Oh." And you wonder why he sleeps with that ridiculous helmet on, but also it's pretty cool. You go to sleep and where's the cauldron?
Inside the stable with us, I would have,
Are you in the same place that the cauldron is?
oh yeah, very, very.
Like
close to it.
very, very close to you?
And I would have like done my best to disguise it. I made sure it was crap laying on the stable. Sure. Pile on top of it.
So
It just looks like another piece of shit. And then I would be sleeping right in front of it.
you are awakened by something lightly tapping the forehead. And
I open one eye to see if it's the roof or the roof.
it is neither. Baruch and you seem to be sleeping on the up. And you follow the source of the tapping to a boot that is attached to a leg that is attached to Finra, her now different hairstyle and color, and definitely not bothered by the cold, very comfortable in it. So,
Well, as soon as my eye opened and I saw that it was either the roof or boot, I would have grabbed the boot and then looked up and went, what do you want?
finally woke up, old big brother. You have some. You're fine. Just bringing you a message. My benefactor would really prefer that this thing. She knocks on the cauldron a couple times. Not get into the hands of the locals. She says, I'm gonna slip off this thing. I'm gonna walk away. Gonna let me?
What's up, going on? I told you last time, you took me the courtesy of allowing me to follow my own path. Doing it to you. You're wrong, but you're free to do it.
No. Something I've learned in the last few weeks is that being right or wrong really depends on who's telling the story. It's okay. I'll get back to you in a couple of days. Let me know what you think of it.
slides off the culvert. You see her walk out of the barn. You see what you assume is a cross road, someone roads.
As she gets, just cause I wanna know what's gonna go on for the next little while with baby sis.
Uh-huh.
As she gets. I see play level that you're better. I better talk to her. I wanna know where she is for that, so. What's the range?
There's not a range on
Yeah, once it's, I don't think there's a range on the detection. It's 90 feet to cast it.
it. Okay, okay. You are easily able to cast it.
Oh, wait a minute.
No?
I'm sorry. That doesn't work like, there's another spell that does that. I would have advantage on wisdom checks to find her, but I don't just know where she is. So never mind.
So she walks out the door and another kind of robed figure that you come to kind of recognize as like, maybe not the uniform, but like cross druids have a look.
Right.
Like if you had to bet, right? You would put money on that being a cross druid. And they kind of speak really hushed for a minute. She looks back at you and she says, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention something. If you don't get rid of it, we will. And the cross druid holds up a potted plant and castrated blood and it disappears. And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Wow. You can't treat it for
Yes, you can. It's any plant. It's passed through plants. I call it. I call
you're
it.
you're not doing that when you're doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm calling it tree report because I like calling it tree report.
Because one of them literally requires.
One of them
big enough
requires a
people
tree.
to- yeah.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Tree.
Yeah, there are.
Yep.
There's bizarrely more than one way
That
to develop
means-
living plants. It's a very specific thing to the two of. All right. Yeah, well.
Chugga, 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 choo, choo.
Okay, guys, alrighty, that's where we're at. Did you catch on that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I realized tonight was not combat heavy,
That's okay.
But there were some things that
Roleplay is good.
No, that was an interesting.
there were some flags that had been tripped. And that means some things needed to- and Ally,
Mhm.
please roll better next time.
Wisdom is not my good set.
It was like,
I know.
I want to make this creepy, but more in the, like, Freddy Krueger sort of way, and not sort of the, this feels kind of icky way. And I hope it was more in the, and not the, ugh.
I mean, like in Nightmare on Elm Street 1, when the hand comes up through the legs to the water.
That's exactly it.
Yep.
Or, and he's like, oh,
I understand now.
Oh, that was
Bye.
an amazing game. Thanks for
Thank
thanks
you.
for letting me join. Sorry I couldn't be there in person.
No, man, I'm glad you're here. Hey, I hope you're able to be here physically next time, because things are gonna we're already way off the rails. But there's like 3 vectors coming together in the next couple of sessions. They're going to be highly entertaining.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
For me, they will be. Hopefully for you guys too.
All
All right,
right, see ya.
bye.